whether or not it's necessary because it's awfully hard to find someone to help with those taxes in April. If you have a complicated financial life, you may want to pay up for a professional. For example, small business owners and those who are self-employed may want someone who's familiar with Schedule C, who can advise on the best type of retirement plan, and who will let you know when you should file a Form 1099 to report any payments you made to others. If you had a lot of investment activity, sold property, or have to file an estate tax return for a deceased family member, you may also want guidance.
Tax season can be overwhelming, but UHY makes it simple. Our professionals provide comprehensive tax advisory services to help individuals and businesses stay compliant and save money. Call our Farmington office at 860-530-6949 or visit farmingtoncpa.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
Save money on that spring break trip by turning a college campus visit into a family vacation.
What's great about a college town is you have so much access to not just sports, but also fine arts.
Campus tours are a rite of passage for a high school student. Angie Rice of Boutique Travel Advisors in Scottsdale, Arizona, says it can be a jumping-off point for a family vacation.
Explore the state where you're visiting.
I'm Rob Hart.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. legacybox.com/radio.
Reese is on the radio. Hey, hey. Here we go now. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. One time, hey. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. Give it to him now. He's on the radio. Hey, hey. We never finish 'cause the party don't stop. Hey. The way we consider the politics, we on top. Hey. We flip it like sandals, except we never flop. Hey. And when we drop, you know we gon' pop. Hey. Yeah. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Here we go now. Reese is on the radio. Hey. One time, come on. Reese is on the radio. Hey. Give it to him now. Reese is on the radio.
Oh, that is the meanest thing ever. What's going on, you scallywags? Looks like I have got one in the studio, too. You know what time it is. It's Reese on the radio. Right here live on WTIC. NewsTalk 1080. Thank you. Even Donald, even hating old Donald loves that intro. Thank you, Roland. I actually do like that. That's kind of popping. You know, in that movie, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. You know, Jack Spade has his theme music. I think that's my theme music. Every good hero should have one. Folks, I'm trying to be delicate here, but I don't know if I can, and I don't know if I'm going to come off. I don't take anything that I do here or people's response to me personally, but I do take what it means to you personally. My job here, just like any other person in an elected office, gets paid. I get paid to be here, and my job is to be a public servant. And I believe that in radio on all spectrums. You're on Light, our sister station, Light 105, Hot 93.7. Those folks are public servants. They get their paycheck to serve you. Now, do they serve their own purpose in many ways? We all do. We have our own agendas, as it were. But our job is to serve you. And as my boss likes to say, make sure you're telling the truth and be honest and serve the public. Serve the community. So, I had a whole opening monologue planned. I'll get to that in a minute, but I need to address this. Because this, in a lot of ways, is breaking news. So tell your friends, tell the voters, tell your community that Aaron Stewart has declined to be a part of our debate, I guess, officially, on April 30th in Farmington at Stadium 15. The commitment made by Betsy McCoy and Ryan Fazio still stands. They will be there. If there is another candidate who wishes to attend, who is running, I do understand there are two other gentlemen who wish to, who are trying to get your votes. If they wish to, contact us here at WTIC. But the debate goes on. But it appears, from what I'm hearing, Aaron Stewart's camp has declined. Okay. Now, unofficially, because, again, I didn't receive any note back. I sent out an email this morning. Nothing was sent to me. They reached out to my source, my people, and they said they're going to have to decline. I would have taken any reason for the decline, timing, whatever the case may have been, but apparently, from what I'm hearing, it's something that I did. Now, before I get into what's been alleged that I did, that caused the apparent decision not to attend, let me make one thing very, very clear that I don't even have to make clear. As I've said to every one of the candidates on either side, I don't have any friends. I am not a part of your clique, your group. Don't invite me to your parties. I do not want to be down. I have only got one core group of, let's say, acolytes. That is you, the listener. You, the citizen. You, the average Joe or Jane. That is who I answer to. I don't want to hobnob with anybody. I don't want to drink any wine. I don't want any aged old scotch. I want nothing. I'm not your friend. And if you get elected, I am not looking for the first invite to come to your inauguration or show up at your Christmas parties. I don't care about those things. I care about you getting the job done. So before anybody gets it twisted, I just want to make sure. I know a lot of people in here love knowing everybody. I don't. I don't care. Never have, never will. Your relationship with me has everything to do with how you serve the audience, the people who live here, the people with skin in the game. If you want to come here on this show, it is about serving them. Not about serving me or making me add to my resume. I've spoken to such and this and that. And I've got great relationships with that and there. I don't care if they come on or not. If they want to come in and answer some tough questions, they will. If they don't, fine. Don't need them. I've never begged. When they don't return my phone calls or my emails, I move on. I tell them right off the bat, I'm not going to contact your guy or your gal. I want to talk to you. If you want to talk, you'll reach out. If you don't, push off. Now, back to the point. What did I do that caused the decline? Well, let me share it with you. The date was February 15th of this year, where I wrote this. There's no need for a fight, but coronations don't help. It's from my Substack. And I will give you the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to tell me where I ran afoul. The recent internal poll released by Aaron Stewart's campaign for the 2026 Republican gubernatorial nomination has sparked considerable chatter in the Connecticut political circle. Conducted by On Message Inc. and showed Stewart with a solid 39% among likely primary voters, compared to 16% for State Senator Ryan Fazio and 9% for Betsy McCoy, and a hefty 34% undecided. This survey positions the former New Britain mayor as the clear frontrunner in a three-way race. It's the kind of number that makes campaigns sit up straight. A double-digit lead over her nearest declared rival, with a third of the electorate still up for grabs. On the surface, this looks like a green light for Stewart to play it safe. With the WTIC NewsTalk 1080 Republican debate set for late April, why risk the stage? Debates are unpredictable arenas where a slip-up can erase polling advantages overnight. A commanding lead tempts any candidate to treat the event as optional theater. Let the underdog scrap while the frontrunner conserves energy, funds, and exposure for the general election grind against Ned Lamont or whoever the Democrats nominate. Stewart could skip it, cite scheduling, or focus on grassroots efforts and still maintain momentum. It's a classic frontrunner move: protect the lead, avoid gaffes, and let the numbers speak. But here's where the brilliance of this poll release turns into potential self-inflicted wounds. The Fazio camp didn't mince words, branding it a fake, a push poll designed to deceive voters rather than inform them. Accusations like that aren't new for internal surveys. Campaigns often craft questions to nudge responders toward favorable results. The timing and the tone here sting especially hard. Stewart's team touts the data as proof she's best positioned to win and fix Connecticut. Yet, skeptics see arrogance, a premature coronation that assumes the nomination is already in the bag. This is the real danger. Connecticut Republican primary voters aren't in the mood for top-down decrees. After years of establishment figures managing decline, high taxes, failing schools, crime concerns, and a state that feels like it's bleeding residents, many GOP voters crave authenticity and a fight. They want candidates who earn the nod through debate, door knocking, and direct confrontation, not one who waves a self-commissioned poll like a scepter and declares the race over before mass voters have even tuned in. Releasing this now, months before the August primary, risks coming across as a very insider maneuvering that alienated conservatives for far too long. The party brass, in this case, a well-funded campaign, decided who's viable while sidelining the grassroots voice. Voters feel this viscerally. When a candidate pushes the polls have spoken, it echoes the same condescension they've heard from Hartford elites for years. The idea that outcomes are preordained, that their ballot is just a formality. It tilts the field, making the process feel rigged rather than representative. And a party where am I at? I moved it. Okay. I was right here. Sorry. In a party still energized by outsider energy and frustration with status quo Republicans who talk tough but deliver little, this strategy can backfire spectacularly. Undecideds, that 34%, aren't looking for inevitability. They're looking for conviction, contrast, and a reason to show up. Alienating them by appearing arrogant could send them straight to Fazio's Connecticut First messaging or even McCoy's national conservative flair. We need party unity, but unity forged in crucible of competition, not imposed by early score settling. Skipping the WTIC debate might preserve short-term optics, but it cedes the moral high ground. Debates aren't just about zingers. They're about accountability. Let Stewart defend her record as mayor, balancing budgets, tackling blight against Fazio's legislative experience, and McCoy's outsider perspective. Let voters see who handles pressure, who articulates a vision for lower taxes, safer streets, and economic revival without apology. That's how you build real enthusiasm, not manufactured inevitability. This race isn't about egos or legacies. We've endured 2 terms of a governor who often seemed to focus on his own brand than on serving everyday nutmeggers. Ballooning costs, deferred infrastructure policies that prioritize optics over results. Republicans have a chance to offer something different, leadership that puts people first. But that starts with respecting the process. Claiming unearned victories risks turning off the very voters who want to reclaim the state from one-party rule. The power belongs to the people Stewart, Fazio, and McCoy aspire to serve. Not any single campaign's internal metrics. Let the primary play out fully. Engage, debate, persuade. Earn the nomination the old-fashioned way. Through the will of the voters. Anything less sells the conservative principles of self-reliance, competition, and grassroots empowerment that Connecticut Republicans desperately need right now. In the end, a true leader doesn't hide behind favorable numbers. They step into the arena and fight for every vote. That's the path to not just winning a primary, but rebuilding trust in a party that can finally deliver for this state. Connecticut deserves that fight, not a coronation. I want everybody to understand that article serves you, no candidate. Because the only way we win is with you. Your momentum must be realistic. And what are we hearing underneath all of this stuff going around? Is this person's putting out polling data, and this person's going to the Hartford Courant, or this one's going to the Connecticut Mirror, or this one's going to the Connecticut Insider. And everybody else is going, hey, I don't hear anybody talking to me. That's my role. And the role of this debate, it's not about serving me or WTIC. It's about serving you. As I think about this, I hearken back to Rush Limbaugh, who, again, I'm sorry, folks, truth be told, in fact, I don't apologize because he is my guide in a lot of ways. You guys remember epically when sponsors left him over the Susan Fluck thing, when he used the S word in describing her. And sponsors left his program. And he was reeling for a little while. And then one day he came back onto the network when he had decided enough was enough. And he told them, his audience, he said, those sponsors who left this show, they may think that they've left Rush Limbaugh, but they didn't. They decided they no longer wanted to serve you. They no longer wanted to do business with you. Because it was through Rush that they were reaching out to you. And your trust of Rush and those sponsors being on his program were the reason why you trusted those products and bought them and purchased them. Their return on investment was epic. And I watched a lot of companies fail who left him. You know the ones. A certain cybersecurity company in the dump toilet as soon as they bailed. You don't even hear from him anymore. So that's what I am trying to come across with this debate. This debate wasn't serving Reese on the Radio. If it was, I would have never asked Brian Shackman or Morgan Cunningham to join me. I would have never made this about the station and told the station this would be great. We can serve our audience in so many ways. Why not do this? This was always about you. So I look at it the same way Rush does. Aaron Stewart doesn't want to do business with you. Sorry. Because I will not make this about me, because it isn't. That article is always who I'm going to be. I don't take sides. I care about who is the best person who's going to serve this electorate. And believe it or not, I tell people all the time, I've won elections. I haven't lost yet. And when I put my back behind somebody, they win. Always. And that's because I know what I'm talking about. I don't talk out of both sides of my face. And I'm clear, very clear on my focus. So I'm sorry. My apologies that I didn't play favorites here. But I definitely will not apologize for my honesty and my job as a journalist and a reporter to you. We'll take a break. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio.
Tune into NewsTalk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Cloder Farms. Home run sheds, gazebos, and furniture. Quality built for your home at CloderFarms.com.
There's no championship league for small business owners. But if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at Lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
45 degrees at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the mid-40s, low around freezing tonight. Waterbury police say the lockdown is over at North End Middle School and Wilby High School. They were evacuated late this morning after a possible bomb threat was called in, but police say the building is no longer locked down. And after a sweep, nothing suspicious was found and no suspicious activity. The NTSB says, according to a cockpit voice recorder, the fire truck that slammed into an Air Canada flight late Sunday at LaGuardia Airport was told to stop by air traffic control before the crash. 2 pilots on board died. NTSA investigator Doug Brazy just released what was heard on that recorder. The times given here are time before impact. This from the NTSB.
At 9 seconds, Tower 1 instructed the tower instructed truck 1 to stop. At 8 seconds, there was a sound consistent with the airplane's landing gear touching down on the runway. At 6 seconds, there was a pilot transfer of controls from one pilot to the other. And at 4 seconds, the tower again instructed truck 1 to stop. At 0 seconds, the recording ended.
The NTSB says 2 people were in the tower at the time of the crash. New data shows Connecticut's overdose cases rise in spring and summer, so the state is trying to get ahead of that reality in 2 ways. One method relies on community leaders to get help to at-risk residents before overdoses happen. Another strategy ensures emergency personnel are armed with Narcan. Connecticut National Guard Counter-Drug Program member John Wardrop explains the importance of that drug's availability.
That includes continuing to improve access to naloxone, making it easier for people to know where to get it, and supporting practical tools like leave-behind kits for first responders. Connecticut has shown that progress is possible. Now the job is to sustain that progress and continue doing the work that saves lives.
Overdose death numbers have dropped in the state since the high of more than 1,500 in 2021. U.S. economic growth is slowing.
The U.S. Purchasing Managers Index Composite, which tracks the services and manufacturing sectors of the economy, dipped to a weaker reading in March from the previous month, although still clinging to expansion territory. The manufacturing index rose more than expected, signaling an 8th consecutive month of improving factory business conditions. But that was offset by a weaker services sector reading, and services make up around 85% of the overall U.S. economy. U.S. business activity slumped to its lowest level in 11 months, impacted by surging oil prices from the conflict with Iran.
CBS's Jason Brooks. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 42 points, S&P dropping 1 point. The NASDAQ is down 105. And we check the forecast.
Sunshine continues out there this afternoon. Temperatures in the 40s. Sundown at 7:07 this evening. And tonight will be partly cloudy with a low close to freezing. Wednesday, more in the way of clouds, but partly sunny. And temperatures getting into the low to mid 50s tomorrow afternoon with a southwest wind. So mostly cloudy Wednesday night with a chance for a shower, the low around 40. And considerable cloudiness Thursday, maybe some sun, the chance for a shower or two as well. Looks like the mildest day of the week with highs in the low 60s. Some showers Thursday night, temperatures holding in the 50s. And then the showers end early Friday. It becomes partly sunny. Temperatures drop through the 50s with a northwest breeze. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
45 degrees now. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager. WTIC 1080 News.
Each week, Attorney Allaire shares special practice advice and expert insights to help navigate the complexities of elder law.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hi, this is Sandy Terenzi and Mike Price from the Livy and team at Keller Williams Legacy Partners.
If you're thinking about selling, listen up. Spring is the most powerful season of the year for sellers, and Connecticut is on fire. While much of the country is cooling off, our local market is projected to hit record high sale prices across the state. The biggest mistake sellers make is waiting too long. The smartest ones prepare early. With the right strategy, marketing, and timing, you can maximize what your home sells for. Don't guess, get ahead of the rush.
Contact us today at 860-855-SOLD.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-5400. 4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Helping your inner circle prepare for emergencies can start in many ways. Put together an emergency kit with Wipewool. Create a family communication plan with your tita. Remind Bai to keep a backup battery charged. It all starts with a simple step, telling those you care about to be ready for the worst. So start a conversation and plan for emergencies together. Get more tips at ready.gov/start. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off an HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 4-4. Exclusions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
Now, I'll get into all of this extensively tomorrow because there's so much stuff to get into as it relates to this. And, of course, the news is just breaking now. But hey, as we said before, whether or not Aaron Stewart was going to be a part of the debate, that's fine. Debate was going to happen no matter what. Ryan Fazio and Betsy McCoy clearly have a chance. We're still early on. We're only in March. We're getting ready to get into April. We have the primary in August, and a lot can change. So we're going to do what we do. So, and we'll get into that. And I'll have plenty of discussions with plenty of people who I know who will call me and ask me a bunch of questions. So, anyway, I got a show to do. Al Sharpton is coming into town, and he will be here Thursday. And I noticed something about it. Local media covered it, but it's Al Sharpton. Why no national attention? Because that's clearly what the supporters of Stevie Jones are trying to do. They want the national spotlight. They need a George Floyd moment. They had it with J. Allen Jones, but they've ignored that. Because, I don't know, either it isn't glamorous, J. Allen Jones was already locked up in jail, so the optics don't work for them. Maybe they talk to a, I don't know, one of those groups, focus groups. That's it, a focus group. Said, nah, yeah, it really doesn't play well. Whatever the case may be. But first they bought, Benjamin Crump and his speech, his interpreter, brought him in so we could understand him. And it didn't get any burn. Okay, we got to pull out the big guns. So we bring out, Ozempic Al Sharpton to come out. Figured, hey, all right, Let's see if Al Sharpton could get some burn. Nothing. Might be some cameras. I'm sure all the local cameras will be here. They'll try to get their feed on the national stage. I'm sure MS Now might cover it. Maybe Al will even cover it on his weekend show or something. Maybe. But if you're wondering why there hasn't been any attention, there's a reason. And it is very simple to figure out. I want to take you back, though. Now, when I take you back, I may drudge up some feelings, some anxiety, hell, maybe even some anger. It's not that far back. It's 2021. You might remember that during the pandemic, there were a lot of people running around with masks on, no matter where you looked. Mask here, mask there. And at the same time, you had George Floyd protests. And it was weird because the powers that be seemed to be back and forth. They're talking out of both sides of their face about how you were supposed to conduct yourself in public. They even had a hearing on it. You might remember it. Here's a Dr. Fauci moment you might remember. When asking about people going to church versus protests for George Floyd in the COVID era.
Question, doctor, should we limit the protests? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But we know that, I mean, for 63 days, 9 weeks, it's been happening in Portland.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one night in Chicago, 49 officers were injured. But no limit to protests. But boy, you can't go to church on Sunday.
What was the? I don't know how many times I can answer that. I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm just going to tell you.
You've opined on a lot of things, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, but I've never.
This is something that directly impacts the spread of the virus, and I'm asking your position on the protest.
Yeah, I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm telling you what it is, the danger.
That's right. That was Dr. Fauci saying that he was not telling anybody anything. He was just telling people how to limit the danger. But a lot of you were asking the question, that's crazy because I couldn't go to church. I couldn't go see my Nana. Couldn't have a birthday party. My business is shut down. Couldn't eat in a restaurant. But the protests were everywhere. Cops were getting put in sleeper holds. They had the people's elbow on them. It was wild. People spitting on each other. Just spreading the virus. Dr. Fauci told everybody, you can't visit your girlfriend, can't have sex, can't breathe, I don't know, within 2 feet of yourself. Put on a mask. If you're jogging outside, wear the mask. But what if I'm alone? Well, wear 2 masks. It was insane. It's telling everyone, but the protesters, nothing. Now, let me tell you why. Because they needed the distraction. They needed the protesters out there. So what if they killed themselves with COVID? Who cares? Let them go out there and rabble-rouse. Just don't pay attention to the president of the United States, Joe Biden. Okay? He is screwing the pooch on all of this, and we need all of the attention away from him. So that's why the media covered every bit of the George Floyd protest and put their lives at risk to cover for the president. But today's a new day, folks. Don't believe me? Here's more of Dr. Fauci. Remember, lying right to your face.
First of all, I didn't recommend locking anything down. And the record will show, Neil, that we didn't recommend shutting everything down.
Are you sure?
I recommended to the president that we shut the country down. And that was a very difficult decision because...
You see, Fauci was talking about 2 sides of his face. They were trying to protect a feeble, feckless, and pretty much not their president. So the protests were allowed to be covered. You know that the New York Times, Dean Baquet, whatever the hell his name is, an internal memo was leaked by him in 2019, where after they couldn't get Donald Trump on Russian collusion, he had said in a memo, Dean Baquet, the head of the New York Times, that when the Mueller testimony turned out to be nonsense, that in the memo, Dean Baquet said to his staff that we need to ramp up coverage of racism in America and pin it on the President of the United States. In 2019, documents there. Go look it up. Yeah, come on. You know, I know that you on the left don't believe me. Really, Dean Baquet in the New York Times today? Yes, 2019. You missed the whole thing. We were all there. But that was the memo. The lady, the old gray lady, was driving the narrative of racism after the Mueller report was a dud. And again, in one of the worst times in our lives, during the pandemic, where everybody had to close down everything, the protesters were still allowed to go outside. They were literally like talking up all the time. The Sturgis motorcycle rally, dangerous. Black Lives Matter protest with George Floyd, be careful. And the media just went in tow. But now Al Sharpton, he's in town. And there's barely any focus. Why? Because the focus must be on Donald Trump. The focus must always be on Donald Trump. And that's where the cameras are fixated. They are not turning to these frivolous little stories anymore. The bad guys in the White House. And we ain't got time for you, Al. We ain't showing up for your little rallies anymore. They all turn out to be duds. People only show up because you show up. And then when you're gone, nobody shows up. We really don't have the time for this. Send our condolences to the families. Okay? But nope. No. We've got a job. See, it was different under Joe Biden than it is in Donald Trump. I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me. I didn't make it this way. The media did. The media did all the work. So, that's where we are. I thought it was interesting. Poor old Dr. Fauci. I always thought it was interesting. Didn't he just say, let them protest? He just said, let them protest. I don't suggest anybody. I don't tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do. Sure he did.
Question, doctor, should we limit the protests? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But we know that, for 63 days, 9 weeks, it's been happening in Portland.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one night in Chicago, 49 officers were injured. But no limit to protests. But boy, you can't go to church on Sunday.
What was the? I don't know how many times I can answer that. I'm not going to opine on limiting anything. I'm just going to tell you.
You've opined on a lot of things, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, but I've never said
something.
Yeah, he's opined on a lot.
I recommended to the president that we shut the country down.
But not for those protesters. Interesting, huh? Can't wait to see you, Al. I'll be there and waiting. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio.
Tune in to NewsTalk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years. Middlesex Health welcomes the Connecticut Golf Show March 27th through 29th at the Connecticut Convention Center. Get front door bonus golf, free tailor-made balls, and more while they last. Tested by big brands with Chris Cody's Golf Shops and watch college hoops on our 19th hole. Tickets at ctgolfshow.com.
It's no secret the world is more expensive. But at Mitchell Auto Group, they have a solution. Mitchell Select. Hand-picked selection of affordable, high-quality pre-owned vehicles. Each one goes through a 150-point inspection, comes with a 12-month warranty. What does that do? It ensures reliability and peace of mind. Affordable, dependable. Mitchell Select has what you need. All you have to do is go to MitchellAutoGroup.com to explore the select inventory. Mitchell Auto Group, where value meets quality. And remember, folks, always drive safely.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio. I'm looking at this story. I may have to save it for later. I might throw it in the stupidest thing I read today. Boy, is this good. It's really, really good. I thought the story was out of Connecticut because, of course, it's on WFSB.com. It's kind of sad that with all the stuff that's happening in Connecticut, WFSB has to cover other state news. There's a lot of stuff going on here, folks. They are not without a news story here. Like this farm out, dude, this story's out of Kingsland, Georgia. Don't get me wrong, it's a ridiculous story. I mean, when I say ridiculous in the sense of, wow, oh my goodness. Like when I saw it, I immediately opened it up, and then I saw Kingsland, and I went, well, it's not even ours. But anyway, maybe we'll talk about it later. If you go out to eat, just lower your mask when you're eating. COVID was just very forgiving like that, Matteo says. Yeah, I thought that was actually kind of interesting during that whole thing. Anything that didn't make sense to me, I fought against. I just want to let you know that. I told the story that my moving company began just as COVID became we were 6 months in. My moving company started in June, and I was doing it part-time. So I had a regular job plus my moving company. And then we went full bore in 2020 in February, just as everything was on lockdown, and they were talking about essential workers. And I was like, am I an essential worker? And I looked it up, and they were like, well, if you're a moving company, you are. I'm like, oh, okay. And sure enough, our phone just blew up, and we were going crazy. And that, I didn't make a lot of money in 2020, but in 2021, what did I make? Yeah, I apologize. 2019, yeah, that's right. I didn't make a lot of money in 2019. I made about $19,000 after I paid everybody. And then in 2020, that was a considerable uptick. Oh, I loved myself that year. 6 figures after I paid everybody. And again, I started from scratch. I also had the U-Haul angle, so, applaud them. Tomorrow, like I said, I'll get into the whole Aaron Stewart thing as the details emerge. But even with that, I've decided I moved on anyway. Like, I'm over it. And again, I didn't take it personal anyway. This isn't, like I said, it's not about me. My ego's not bruised. It's like, I'm doing a debate with WTIC with Betsy McCoy and Ryan Fazio. And you. I am so blessed. And I'm so excited. I get to do something I've never been able to do, and I've wanted to do for so long, and I get to fulfill that dream right here on this network with you in the place that I've loved. And I've always loved. I showed you proof. I have it on audio. So I can't wait to do it. Yes, we have a guest today. Davey Edwards of, I want to make sure I got his company right. Davey Edwards of Open Doors Outdoors is joining us. It is how do I describe it? I'm going to let him describe it. But it's an outdoor group that they do a bunch of activities for veterans and their families and for young people to get them engaged outdoors. They're going to be here. My buddy Chris B is going to be here with him. He's a friend of his. And we're going to hear and talk about all of that and how you can get involved and you can be a part of it. So stand by for that. That's going to be a great interview. We are going to get a telephone call from Deborah Stevenson. As promised, we couldn't get her yesterday, but she did promise to call in today at 5 o'clock. We will tell her we will find out from her, I should say, the updates of her meetings because she is getting FOIAs or trying to get FOIAs from every communication from the legislature and even the governor on anything as it relates to homeschooling and what, how they give. She's looking for a FOIA request to find out how they came up with this study that was completely bogus. So the lawsuit is on for homeschoolers, and you guys should be very, very happy about Deborah Stevenson and what she's getting done. So expect a phone call from her and the 5 o'clock hour. She should be at the top of the hour. We also have to talk about, and I'll do that a little bit in the next hour. So Chris Murphy has gotten some new scrutiny. And why? It's because of an old clip. You may have heard about it. You may have seen it online. Let me see. Do I still have it here? Where's Chris Murphy's old clip? Do I not have it here? I thought I had it here. No, it's not here. I know it's somewhere. All right, maybe I'll grab it and I'll play it later. But you know the one. The clip where he talks about the most important constituents. Yeah, we'll play that briefly. There's a reason why that's now all of a sudden gone viral. Like it's back in the news. It's an old clip. And now everyone's talking about it. Fox News even has it up. Like it's a new story. It's an old story. But I think we know why. We reported yesterday why. Wall Street Journal has an article out about Chris Murphy as it relates to Chuck Schumer. So we'll talk about that as well and a whole bunch more as the show goes on. Oh, and let me say this, ladies. Remember when guys weren't allowed to talk about abortion because we lacked the genitalia? You're going to love this audio coming up. Let's get to the newsroom. Dave Mager, he's in for Jonathan Silva. He's with John Silva, right? Yeah, whatever. in the WTIC newsroom. We'll be back. Go nowhere. It's Reese on the Radio.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest. This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the Radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
46 degrees, 3 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 40s this afternoon, low around freezing tonight, up to the mid-50s tomorrow. Waterbury police say a lockdown is over at North End Middle School and Wilby High School. They were evacuated late this morning after a possible bomb threat was called in, but police say the building is no longer locked down. The students have returned. After a sweep, nothing suspicious was found. The NTSB says a runway warning system did not trigger an alarm. before an Air Canada jet and a fire truck collided at LaGuardia late Sunday. 2 pilots were killed. It's believed the alarm system didn't work as intended because the fire truck did not have a transponder. The cockpit voice recorder shows the truck was told to stop 9 seconds before impact. There are still questions about who was in the tower at the time. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
We have seen different information about how many certified professional controllers were in the facility. And we need to verify that starting with interviews this afternoon. We'll begin to interview the local controller at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We do have logs, but there's also conflicting information, including dates and times on the logs. So now we have to go through that and rectify some of those inconsistencies. We do, however, know that there were 2 people in the cab. 2 people in the tower cab.
The NTSB will interview 2 firefighters in that truck to find out if they braked or turned to avoid the crash. Senators race to come up with a deal to end the funding shutdown of Homeland Security by funding much of the agency except for ICE. Democrats have been refusing to fund ICE unless it initiates reforms on agents they say have been over-aggressive in enforcement. President Trump has been refusing to negotiate. The sense of urgency comes in response to long lines at U.S. airports with unpaid TSA agents calling in sick or quitting. CBS's Skylar Henry is in Atlanta.
Frustration is growing at many of the nation's airports with hours-long security lines that haven't let up.
We got here probably around 9 p.m. Yeah, we tried to get here extra early.
Some travelers flying out of George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston waited 6 hours with lines stretching through the airport's underground train system.
I think it's a shame, but, I wished every senator, every congressman could stand in this line.
The deal under consideration would fund most of Homeland Security, but not ICE enforcement and removal operations that are core to President Trump's deportation agenda. President Trump claiming talks with Iran are ongoing. Iran denies that, and the U.S. facing pressure on all sides.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. While Western politicians urge restraint, one leader's reportedly pressing President Trump to come down harder on Iran by ousting its leaders and even putting boots on the ground. The New York Times reports Saudi Arabia's Prince Mohammed bin Salman has had several private conversations with Trump in recent days, calling the U.S.-Israeli offensive a chance to remake the Middle East. The White House will say only that President Trump's private conversations are just that, private.
In New Haven, a fatal crash on El Grasso Boulevard. City police say a car attempted to evade a state police traffic stop before 9 this morning. The car was speeding when it crashed head-on into a pickup truck, killing the car driver. 2 people in the truck suffered non-life-threatening injuries. It happened around Washington Ave and Truman Street, again on El Grasso Boulevard. Crude oil prices back up about 5% today. At the pump, AAA says gas is at $3.97 a gallon nationwide, up more than $1 since a month ago. Connecticut at $3.92. The Dow is up 86 points. S&P is down 2. The NASDAQ is down 108. And we check the WTIC forecast.
The cloud cover that we saw start to increase during the afternoon continues overnight with a low of 29. Mostly cloudy, the high 55 tomorrow. Rather cloudy, a couple of showers late tomorrow night, the low temperature 40. We will have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy with a couple of showers for the drive home from work on Thursday afternoon with a high of 66. And Friday, a changeable day, a shower in the morning, partial sun in the afternoon, temperatures falling from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
46 degrees in Hartford. Sports, the Knicks host New Orleans, the Bruins home to Toronto. Baseball's regular season opens tomorrow. The Yankees in San Francisco and the Red Sox open Thursday afternoon in Cincinnati. You can hear it on WTIC. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Wisdom teeth giving you trouble? Columbia Dental's expert oral surgeons specialize in comfortable and efficient wisdom tooth removal. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit ColumbiaDental.com.
Tune into News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Cloder Farms. Home run sheds, gazebos, and furniture. Quality built for your home at CloderFarms.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with your 2026 tax tips. Did you know that you may be able to file your taxes for free? For eligible taxpayers, there are ways to make this happen. It's called IRS Free File, and it's available to taxpayers with an adjusted gross income of $89,000 or less in 2025. For those who qualify, there are two options to prepare and file your federal income tax online for free. The first is called Guided Tax Preparation, which provides free online tax prep and filing at an IRS partner site. The second is called Free File Fillable Forms, which are basically electronic federal tax forms equivalent to a paper 1040 form.
Tax season can be overwhelming, but UHY makes it simple. Our professionals provide comprehensive tax advisory services to help individuals and businesses stay compliant and save money. Call our Farmington office at 860-530-6949 or visit farmingtoncpa.com.
Making sense of it all and having fun. That's how we would sum up our show. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. It's what happens when you take a Gen Xer, a millennial, and a baby boomer and give them a radio show.
We go through the news the same way you and your friends would, taking the serious stuff, seriously, while also laughing at the absurd.
Each one of us brings a unique perspective to the news of the day, closing the generation gap in a way no other talk show can. Hear Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins weeknights 6 until 9 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I hope these people are loyal. I say that all the time, man. I think about it all the time. We're back. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. I say it all the time, Roland. Roland and I are behind the scenes talking about this back and forth between these sportscaster guys or, whatever. So I'm not going to mention any names. And the thing that I always say about the audience, like you can't rely on the audience to always back you because they're fickle. They'll back you for a little while, and then when time is left, and then move on. They have to. But you in your job, you have got to be you have to be loyal to who you are, right? You have to be who you are. And if you're not, that's going to show up. And it'll show up eventually. And if you're being anything for the money, I have a conversation with one guy who's like ideologically he's different than I am, and we argue all the time. But I love him to death. He'll never say I love you too, and that's fine. I still love him because he's good natured and he is who he is. But anyway, he's always struck by like how unique I am. He goes, I got to admit, I've never met anybody like you before. And that's nice to hear. I always think that's great to hear. It's nice to be unique. But it's always sweeter to hear when someone's trying to be. That's when it's sweeter. That person is just hoping, boy, I hope they see how different I am. Never cared about that. Never do. Just be who you are. Take it as it comes. So I always say, I hope that people see that authenticity and can relate to it because, again, it's not about whether or not it reflects well on me. I'm hoping it reflects on them. Try to be who you are. That's a very important thing to do. Be who you are. Now, I wanted to get into this Chris Murphy thing. But it's got to wait because something was driving me up the wall. But here's that Chris Murphy clip I was talking about.
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for
30 years, maybe, and it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country. This is also not...
So he said that a long time ago, and now it's trudged back up. And I think it was Craig who sent me a text message about it. It's like, wow, look at this guy's getting national attention. It's because of the Wall Street Journal article. The Wall Street Journal article says that he could very well be the front runner to take over as the Senate Minority Leader for Chuck Schumer. He could very well be the Senate Majority Leader if Democrats win back the House and Senate, or the House or Senate, in the midterms. So that's why this is being drudged up again, because they want you to know the focus of Chris Murphy. Never forget. That's why it is. But anyway, we'll get into that later. I was sitting at my desk at my apartment, and I was bothering myself because I was saying, I got to go to the DMV, and I've got to go get a Connecticut license, and I got to do it pretty soon. The months are creeping up before my old one expires, and I got to get a new one in Connecticut, and I don't want to have to go all the way back to Texas to get it done, so I'll just do it here. And I was waiting on some mail to come because you have to have proof of an address and all of that. You can use your lease and all that good stuff, but, I just, there's a reason. But anyway, nonetheless. And I was sitting there thinking about it, and I said, damn, there are a lot of people in the state of Connecticut who would probably be well served if they had a driver's license. But what if you're in between homes, like you're couch surfing, right? Or you're, poor, staying with friends or family, and you wanted to get a driver's license and you don't get mail to the house, right? I'm staying with my sister. I don't have a debit or credit card, so bank statements do not come to our house. I have no real proof of address when I go down to the DMV. And if I'm staying in someone else's home, I know I'm not on a lease, so I can't use that information to prove where I live. So what do? And I said to myself, well, wait a minute. Connecticut gives out driver's licenses to illegals, don't they? And I looked it up and I said, oh, they don't. It turns out, and you guys know this, but for those of you who don't, is that they have what's called a Connecticut drive-only license for illegals. These are people who cannot prove lawful U.S. presence. But you could go down to the DMV and get a Connecticut drive-only license, which means you do not have the ability to provide important documents that you would as a natural citizen. Social Security card, birth certificate, the things that would make you documented. But again, if I'm living at my sister's and I don't have that and I have no proof of I must at least be afforded the opportunity to maybe just get this Connecticut drive-only license. I mean, I'm a resident, but I should be able to get this thing, right? I mean, this is for what you would consider a lower tier resident, right? Because Connecticut is clearly expanding on the ability to drive for those who are illegal. So me, who might be in a weird predicament, should be able to get this license, right? No, you can't. That struck me as weird. Wait a minute. So if I'm in a situation where I cannot, for whatever reason, don't have my Social Security card and my birth certificate, like my house burned down or I was evicted, something happened, a flood, everything I have is washed away. I want to get something temporary. I should be able to get this because my job requires that I drive. and my license has expired and I have none of the documentation that would allow me to go down to the DMV, right? You would at least be able to help me out and get this lower tiered thing, right? No. According to Connecticut law, you, as a citizen, cannot even get a Connecticut drive-only license. In fact, the DMV suggests that you must, I'm not kidding you, you must request the documentation from the Department of Records to get your birth certificate and your Social Security card. You should do those things before you show up at the DMV to then apply for your test to get a driver's license. You cannot. There is no lower tier system for you. That seems weird, right? That seems odd. That the Department of Motor Vehicles in Connecticut demands that you get your birth certificate, your original, and your Social Security, or at least a copy of both. But nonetheless, you should be able to obtain those things. The DMV makes absolutely no provisions for you, right? At all. This is what you got to do. And I looked over all of it. Like if there were any loopholes that you as an American citizen, a nutmegger, that you can weave to get your driver's license. No! You have got to go get your original document. You have to. So I was like, just for argument's sake, I typed into Grok, do you see where I have a problem with this as it relates to the Save America Act? Do you see where I'm sort of confused? Is where I couldn't get a Connecticut's drive-only license because as an American citizen, I must get proper documentation from the Department of Records to get my birth certificate and my Social Security card in order to get my driver's license. While the state of Connecticut provides a driver's-only license, which in essence is an end-around, for undocumented folks. This is what Grok wrote back. Yes, I see the connection you're drawing, and it's a fair one to explore. Both situations involve government requirements for specific identity, citizenship documents, and debate over what happens when people, especially certain groups, say they lack easy access to them. It makes the comment. It makes the whole comparison. Democrats and voting right groups frequently highlight that it could burden married women, an estimated 69 million who have changed their last name. Their birth certificate or older passport shows their maiden name, with their current legal name or driver's license, voter registration, etc., is different. Critics argue that this creates name mismatch issues, extra bureaucracy or red tape, needed marriage certificates, court orders, or affidavits to link the names, potential disenfranchisement for women who don't have ready access to certain certified birth certificates, the thing that you must get to get a Connecticut driver's license, which they don't see as burden. I'm sitting there looking at this going, are you kidding me? And that's why nobody has a leg to stand on. Just another argument. I thought I'd throw it out there. Just another argument. They won't even, now again, imagine that. The illegal who cannot prove that he is a legal resident is given an avenue to drive on these streets. They make it available to them. They pull out all the stops to make it available. You want a piece of that? Say, hey, Governor, I'm a legal citizen, taxpayer even when I can. Born here, got sweat equity in this state. Can I get one of these? No. Why not? Well, I'm floored by it. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Let's try Ted, who's in Canton. Hello, Ted. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. Driving for my job. I got my phone on hands-free. I realize your issue, and unfortunately, you've made the basic mistake.
Please?
You're attempting to apply logic and reason to government and critical thinking skills to analyze a problem. I'm sorry, it just doesn't extra deleted work.
Yeah.
Once you do have those documents that you need, if you haven't already joined AAA, join them. You can go to any AAA office and avoid the DMV.
Yes, I do. You know what? I'm very happy that because my wife and I were at a what do you call those places? A Reese store, and I saw the AAA, and I saw the sign that says, come and get your driver's. I was like, whoa, AAA does that here? I used to be a AAA member. I never knew that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got my passport photo when I got my license renewed. I still haven't applied for the passport, but I got the passport photos sitting underneath the visor of my front seat of my car as soon as I can afford the application fee and get some bills paid off so I can maybe go visit Ireland.
Hey, man, a great trip. Can't wait to go myself. Ted, I don't know if you heard this, but I said maybe 2 days ago, I said government's approach to anything is like a cheating spouse telling you they need to continue to cheat in order to figure out how their marriage is going to work.
That is an appropriately Byzantine explanation. Why can't people just do the right thing at the right time and have ethics and morality be applied to every decision and law that they make?
Couldn't agree with you more. Couldn't agree more, sir. Ted, thank you, sir.
Right.
You have a great drive today. Be careful out there. Let's go to, who's my next up? Mark's in Windsor. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Reese, and hello to all the men and women listeners out there.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, happy summer. Happy spring to you and the wife.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, I would like for you, every time you come across one of those oxymorons, like you just play Chris Murphy, the most important people are the illegal aliens.
There it is.
That's your reason right there.
Yeah, here it is.
Well, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe, and it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most.
Yep, the people we care about most.
During the COVID hysteria, you could not get on a plane without an oxygen suit. However, the Biden administration were flying illegal aliens around the country with just a letter. They didn't even have ID.
Yeah.
They came into the country without shots, without being vetted, without any vetting from whence they came.
Mark, do you remember the big to-do with, what's his name, Djokovic, the tennis player? Why do I always forget his first name? But Djokovic could not come into the United States or some country. I think it was Australia or something like that. But I'm almost certain he couldn't come into the United States because he refused to take the vaccine. And Peter Doocy asked Corinne Jean-Pierre about whether or not it was all right for him to be denied entry when illegals were coming in having not been vaccinated.
I remember that. I don't remember that much detail.
Yeah.
But I do remember that tennis player was denied. Yep.
Yes.
And here's another opportunity where you should play Chris Murphy telling you why. Because the illegal aliens are the most important to them. They are, and this is what, Reese, this is why, listen, I love black people. I love my black people. I love people. However, I cannot have conversations with black Democrats.
Yes.
Because I find, and I do not, I'm no better than the next person.
I hear you.
No. But I find them stupid.
This is a distinction. Listen, this is a distinction that doesn't need a description because, again, you made it very clear when you said it's not about black people. It's about black liberals. And that, it takes a particular kind of individual to be a black liberal. And the first order of business, in order for you to be a black liberal, is logic must leave your brain.
Completely. And you know what? I love a good back and forth, a good exchange of ideas with someone who, but I will not discuss reparations with a black Democrat. I won't. Yo, how do you can't even have that conversation with me when you let the Democrats front load the illegal aliens with reparations.
Yes,
they getting $3,800 a month Social Security. They got free cars.
You are
free
listen to me.
housing.
I have to put it to you. Listen to me, Mark. I do have to let you go, but I will tell you this: that to this day will be the one thing that sort of, when I say stuck the knife into me and turned it, is when I talk to liberals today who still bring up reparations, and I go, "Did you miss the last 4 years, my friend? Like, are you bugging out?" Anyway, I gotta let you go. God bless you, brother. I always miss you, man. Thank you. Let's go with one last one. I'm going to take Bob in Waterbury for the next minute. How you doing, sir? Thanks for calling.
Good. How you doing, Reese? Nice to talk to you.
You too, sir.
Hey, that DMV guy, say, dude, if I had this stuff, I wouldn't need a drive-only. I'd get a regular license. But those drive-only licenses, I don't know what they look like, but is it possible that they're very similar, and then these illegals or
They say that they are distinguishable to the police or anyone who looks at them. I didn't look for. It's funny. I didn't even ask to look one up. I'll actually find one to see if I can get them on the screen here.
Right. I'm worried about the voting.
Yes, as am I. But that was the point I was making, is that as I was thinking about this whole thing about what's required of you, every time I move, and I move a lot, at least in the last 5-6 years, I keep saying or dreading the whole going to the DMV, and you got to provide this address. You have to make sure that you have proof of mail that you live here, or your lease and all that other stuff. And it's just a hassle. And then I started thinking about it, and I went, you know what? This is very pertinent to what's going on. And when I found this drive-only thing, because you guys talk about it so much, I wanted to know if there was sort of like a situation where an American citizen could not provide these documents, that there was a go-around for at least them, since they're making it for illegals. And it turns out, no break for you.
Right. But, they go to the polls, and if it looks anything like, the polling people don't know what exactly to look for.
It's a great point.
Here's your license. All right, let me vote.
Bob, that's exactly the point I'm bringing up. Much appreciated, sir. You have a great rest of your day.
Okay, talk to you later.
You got it. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Stay on the line, guys. I'll get back to you on the other side of the break. Lenny and Dave, we'll get to you in a second. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio.
Odyssey Hartford celebrates Women's History Month.
Marian Wright Edelman, founder of the Children's Defense Fund, has dedicated her life to being a fierce voice for our nation's youth. As the first Black woman admitted to the Mississippi Bar, she championed civil rights and expanded Head Start programs to protect the most vulnerable. A Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, her tireless advocacy continues to shape a fairer future for every child.
Celebrating remarkable women all month long. More on the Odyssey app.
The NFL offseason is here, but the action never stops. The draft is right around the corner, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hanzus and Mark Sessler is your pro football destination. Prospects, team needs, and pick-by-pick coverage of draft weekend.
Heed the Call covers all things NFL, and we have fun. No fake hot takes or boring data dumps here. Just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
So come hang out with the Heed the Call heroes for football news, analysis, and mirth. All the mirth. Follow and listen to the Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
January through March are the months our weather can change in a snap. 45 degrees one day, 10 the next. Can you depend on your car to start? Don Cusson here. Your battery can fail in extreme weather. So Cusson Automotive and Napa have a deal on batteries with an earn-back bonus on quality Legend batteries. With any vehicle service, we will test your charging system and battery for free. If your battery fails the test, we will replace it with no additional labor cost. Plus, you'll receive a $20 Visa card, so don't get stuck in the cold. Call or go to CussonAutomotive.com.
Cusson Automotive.
And now, a WTIC news update.
47 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 40s this afternoon, low around freezing tonight, going up to the mid-50s tomorrow. The NTSB says a runway warning system did not trigger an alarm before an Air Canada jet and a fire truck crashed at LaGuardia late Sunday. 2 pilots were killed. It's believed the alarm system didn't work as intended because the fire truck did not have a transponder. The cockpit voice recorder shows the truck was told to stop 9 seconds before impact. It's unclear if the 2 people in the truck heard that or other warnings. There were 2 controllers in the tower at the time, according to NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
It is not clear who was conducting the duties of the ground controller. We have conflicting information. We have some information saying it was the controller in charge. We have some information saying it was the local controller.
She says it should not be assumed that controller distraction was involved. Initial readings show 1 controller cleared the truck to cross the runway just 20 seconds before the crash. Despite Iran's denials, President Trump still insists there are active talks with Iran to end the war. Real estate investors Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are involved, and others, he says.
We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal.
Iranian missiles targeted Israel and Iraq today, along with other Persian Gulf nations. Senators are working on another deal to end the Homeland Security shutdown by funding much of the department except for ICE. There's a sense of urgency in response to long lines at U.S. airports with unpaid TSA agents calling in sick or quitting. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is critical of ICE staffing airports.
ICE needs to leave the airports now. Trump needs to pay TSA workers now and push Republicans to reach a deal.
The deal under consideration would fund most of Homeland Security, but not ICE enforcement and removal operations that are core to Trump's deportation agenda. They're still talking about the primetime performance of AZ Fudd and the UConn women's basketball team. Fudd scored 34 on near-perfect shooting, impressing teammate Kaylee Heckel.
Absolutely. I feel like every time anyone had the ball, they were looking for AZ. She was going to make it. Like, we all knew she was going to make it. So, yeah, it was just like an awesome performance.
And the team led Syracuse by as many as 58 points in the second-round win. Next up, North Carolina, Friday in Fort Worth. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 55 points, S&P dropping 12 points. The NASDAQ is down 139. And here's the WTIC forecast.
Increasing clouds for the overnight period. Our low temperature dropping to 29. Mostly cloudy up to 55 tomorrow. A couple of showers late tomorrow night. The low temperature 40. A mix of sun and clouds. A few showers, though, later on Thursday afternoon with a high of 66. And a changeable weather day on Friday. Rain in the morning, then partial sun. Temperatures dropping from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
47 degrees now. NBA tonight, the Knicks host New Orleans. NHL, the Bruins hosting Toronto. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Have bad teeth that need to be replaced? Don't like removable dentures? Worry no more. Come on down to Columbia Implant Center in Manchester any day of the week and ask for the All-on-4 procedure. Call us at 860-643-1898.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Thomaston Savings Bank. Here for you, here for the community, here to stay. Member FDIC. Visit ThomastonSB.com.
Got a tree causing big trouble in a tiny space? Don't risk it. Call the experts who specialize in the impossible jobs. At Tree Wise Guys of Connecticut, we handle the heavy lifting so you don't have to. From precision limb cutting and stump grinding to full land cleaning and emergency storm damage cleanup. No job is too big and no space is too tight. When it matters most, trust the guys who know trees. Trust Tree Wise Guys of Connecticut. Visit TreeWiseGuysCT.com today to get a free quote on your next project. That's TreeWiseGuysCT.com. Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolution, One health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Wegmans, and now GNC.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
UConn's Silas Demery Jr. and Braylon Mullins know winning takes trust, hustle, and the right team.
I work both ends of the court. That's the only way to win. And when the pressure's on, I trust my team on the court and in life.
That's why they trust BPS lawyers, handling personal injury, family law, and more.
I'm Nick Payne-Darris. At BPS Lawyers, we're one full-service firm. All your legal needs, always.
BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Elon Musk is reportedly considering an early entry listing for SpaceX on the NASDAQ 100 index. Reuters reports that SpaceX is eligible for an early entry listing with the NASDAQ, which requires a company's market cap to rank among the top 40 companies already in the index. And SpaceX is currently valued at more than $1.5 trillion on the private market, easily meeting that guideline. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off an HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 404 exclusions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Let's be honest, the hearing aid industry is broken. Overpriced clinics, pushy appointments, bills of $5,000 or more. That's the trap they hope you fall into. Don't let it happen. Audien Hearing is the escape. Their FDA-registered hearing aids cost just a fraction of the big brands, starting at only $98. Instead of paying as much as $5,000 plus all the doctor appointments and wasted time, you get what you need with no prescriptions, no office visits, no time wasted, and no crazy price tag. Call 800-700-HEAR. That's HEAR. Audien's cutting-edge devices are rechargeable, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. Try them risk-free for 45 days with lifetime support and real human help just a phone call away. Over 1 million people have already said yes to Audien Hearing. Join them. Don't let them take advantage of you. Break free from the trap. Call now 800-700-HERE. That's HEAR for a very special offer. 800-700-HEAR or 800-700-4327.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
Hey, we're back. Reese on the radio here, WTIC. Jeffrey, good question. He said, if you're homeless and you live in your car and you don't have an address, how are you supposed to get a driver's license or a renewal? I couldn't agree more. I don't know how you're supposed to do any of that. I think that's the whole point here. Stevie V says, get a P.O. box. I had a P.O. box. For the price, it's not bad. I had a P.O. box in Virginia. Many of you actually might know that. You probably sent me stuff in my P.O. box. It was $160 for 6 months. That's like, a little more than $300 a year. Nothing against the homeless, but I don't think that's an expense they want to have. I don't think an expense anybody wants to have. Let's get back to the phones real quick. As promised, Lenny is calling from Avon. How you doing, Lenny?
I'm doing good, Reese. How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. I love that name, Lenny. What's going on?
Oh, not too bad. I was just talking about the drive-only license.
Yes, talk to me.
Well, the previous caller already touched base on it. I was just saying it's discriminatory against the homeless guys. You know what I mean?
I would imagine so, because they would have, again, having all of those things that are required, and not even, look, it's not like a homeless person can't lobby the birth certificate or the Social Security Department. He won't have the money for it.
Exactly. Puts them in financial burden.
Exactly.
A financial bind that they already obviously are in because of the state that they're in. So for me, that obviously shows you to the point that you're already making that Democratic parties, they're not for us.
Yeah.
They're for the illegals, man. And it that shows it. And it's because, honestly, I think that, A, it gets them more money for their programs. And not only that, it's for their votes.
Yeah.
Just like you touched base on before. It's just to back their votes, back their money. And
yeah, and exactly. The NGOs, of course, who get millions of dollars.
I'm outside, I'm cold.
Hey, yeah, Lenny, get warm, man. Thank you for calling, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Reese, take it easy.
You got it, sir. Dave is in Bristol. What's going on, Davey?
Hey, it's been a hot minute, Reese.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. What's going on?
I've been busy. Couple thoughts, just real quick. If you want to get through DMV, take out one of the employees to dinner and make a friend. and then you get everything done before you don't even have to go in. You give them the paperwork. Dinner.
Dave, come on. I don't know. Listen, the last time I got cozy with a DMV worker was when I got my driver's license. The woman who gave me my road test was an African woman. Well, she was from Africa, but she was at least a naturalized citizen. She was driving with me. She flirted with me so hardcore, my friend, so hardcore. I felt weird because I made like maybe 2 or 3 mistakes in the car because I was distracted by other things, and she still passed me. And in my head, because I knew, in my head I was going like, I know I failed this thing, but I know she was kind of flirting really hardcore, and I passed, and I was just like, meh. No, nope, not bad. The charm actually worked. But I don't know if I would go so far as to go out to dinner.
Well, to be honest with you, one of my best friend's wife has worked at DMV for like 40 years.
Okay.
She just retired and they're moving to South Carolina. So now I don't know what I'm going to do.
Listen, you better get it. Look, you know what you do? Renew your license before they move, even if it isn't expired yet. Just do it anyway.
And they're moving out in like 3 weeks. I just got everything done I could for the year, so that's all good there. Hey, can I just get back to your other topic the other day? I wasn't able to call in on the school lunch thing.
Get real quick though.
Real quick. Made me think. I've been doing DoorDash as a side thing for like 4 or 5 weeks.
Okay.
And one of my busiest times of the day is like from between 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Just when the kids are getting out of school. And guess who's ordering all the food?
Huh, really?
If they're eating so well at school, then why are the second they get out calling DoorDash and paying double to get a meal?
Good point. Yeah. Hey, listen, like I said, I want a further investigation into this nonsense that it's the only meal these kids get at any time. 18 hours without a meal, that's got to be investigated, and DCF should be all over that. Thank you, Dave, man. Welcome back. It's good to hear your voice, man. Thank you. You got it. Hey, she's doing great. She's going to be here sometime this week. She's just recovering.
All right.
You got it. Hey, Roland, is there any way you could let them in real quick now? We got at least 5 minutes before the break. They're at the door. Yeah. I don't think you. I did. They are probably thinking like, how long are we gonna stand out here? I know you can't see them because Roland is in the dark. He's kind of cave dwelling as well. Let me get to Paula real quick. Hey, Paula, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm fine, but when you started talking about the DMV, I was cracking up because I've been trying to change my name on the driver's license.
Really?
For over 2 years.
What?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because my job has limited amount of time for me to be free to just go into a DMV. You have to make an appointment, and for a certain thing, it's a pain in the ass, especially since I transport children. The only time I have off is either vacation.
Wow.
And if it's a Monday off, they're closed. You can tell they're closed.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So the first time I went there, I had all my information, my driver's license, my INS card, because I still have a green card, and my addresses. By the way, a little hint, you could actually go on your computer and print out your bills.
That's right. Yep. Exactly right.
You don't have to wait for the mail. And so I showed them, and then, of course, the paperwork. And they said, we're going to check on your INS. I said, honey, I've been here since 1969, really? Well, whatever, because I'm legal. And I have a public service license. That means I can drive other people around. It's not just personal, So then they said, your Social Security has to match your new name. I'm like, really? I never had this.
Yeah, it's the post 9/11 thing, Paula. It is. Yeah, I've got a screw up. I have a screw up on my birth certificate. It's a variation of my first name, which is opposite of what it is on my Social Security card. So it turns out that all my life I've been able to use both with no contention. Now all of a sudden, red flag.
Correct. And that's what I was getting. So I said, I have to change my Social Security. Fine. Went down to Social Security, and they changed it for me, and then I got the card in the mail. Then I went and made another appointment. And this was like weeks later, I was like, when I can. And I get the card. I bring all the same papers back with a new card. And they said, on their computer, it's not valid.
Oh, man.
Okay, you go through all this BS of craziness at the DMV, and they say, wait. You told me to go down to Social Security to get a new card. I go, get this new card. You tell me they haven't connected to you? Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Okay, so fine. So I go back to Social Security.
Holy moly. You know what you should do? Hold on, Paula. Do what I did. I petitioned the court because of the because of the name differences on the Social Security versus the birth certificate. I actually petitioned the court. There's a document that you can fill out with an actual sort of goodness gracious, there's a term for this, a legal term for it, but you actually petition the court to acknowledge the two so that you can take it down to the DMV and they recognize it as the judge giving them permission to issue you a driver's license saying that they recognize your name change.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's the only way. And the court's clerk takes less than 7 days. That's exactly what I had to do in order to get my driver's license. But it's much easier, and the cost is minimal. You'll save yourself so much money.
So again, it's a circus for people who are legal.
I know, and it's again. And the illegals, they go, oh, doors open right up for them.
I know. It's like a stab in the heart. I'm like, excuse me.
It would make me, listen, it makes me nuts. And that's the only reason why, listen to me, it irked me today because I know what I went through when I went to get my driver's license in Virginia. And that's the reason why it irked me when I thought about it. And I looked it up and I just went, of course it's true. Thank you, Paula.
And don't forget to put a star on your license.
That's right. Yep, indeed. Paula, have a good one. Be safe out there, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll grab a few more phone calls. Our guest is here, Davey Edwards, Chris B. They're in the lobby. I'm going to bring them in a second. And then we'll talk about open doors outdoors. When we return, it's Reese on the Radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Sex, intimacy, love. These three things are critical to a good relationship. That's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Northeast Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio live right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. My guest is in the house. My good friend is in the house, and we will talk to them shortly. My buddy Mailman Mike is giving me some insight on what I can do as far as getting proof of address in some of these sort of go-arounds that he's used. I've got all my documentation, Mike. I promised I do. These were things that were running through my head. It wasn't a problem I was having. It was a problem I've run into in the past. Steve says that, Reese, you should go and take a flight to Mexico, trudge across the border, say your name is Riso Hopkinso, and get your Connecticut driver's license. It would probably be easier than dealing with the DMV. Well, I just want to say brilliant. Brilliantly done. Yeah, I know the physical address thing. I figured it out. But see, I have this thing. That's a long story. I don't even want to get into it. We'll talk about that. Also, in the coming hour, after we speak to Davey Edwards, we've got, why am I forgetting her name now? Deborah Stevenson, who's calling in. She's going to tell us about where she is on the homeschooling fight. We'll get to that. Also, we've got some other national news. I want to say this to you, ladies. Listen to me really, really closely, okay? Listen. It's very important that you understand this. I was always opposed to the idea that women would say, I couldn't join the conversation about abortion because I lacked ovaries. They said, you can't talk about abortion. You're not a woman. If you ever carried a child, you can't have a conversation. And then transgenderism ran amok. And folks, here's where we are now. This is Delegate Kathy Zelenega versus Delegate Ken Kerr in Baltimore, Maryland, having this discussion. Wait for it.
Menstrual hygiene products means appropriately sized tampons. What are appropriately sized tampons? I've never heard of such a thing. What do you consider appropriate?
It just means that tampons are offered. There's no specific size.
Well, apparently there's 4 different sizes, so which one would you like them to use?
Just a regular sized tampon in the bathroom.
Okay, maybe it should say that and not appropriately sized tampon. Now, is this going in all bathrooms, men's and women's?
Yes.
How about the Ravens Stadium?
If it is a state-owned building, then yes, it would go in. It's a public building.
Oriole Park?
Well, if it applies to the Raven Stadium, it would also apply to Orioles Park.
My question is this. You do know that is a woman asking a man about appropriately sized tampons, right? And that son of a gun didn't even know. So to have a woman have to dress you down about an item you know nothing about while you demand that they be put in men's bathroom is all you need to view. That's all you need to see, okay? We'll talk about it. Stand by. It gets so much deeper. So much deeper. We got to get our first check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher, he's out there. He's hovering somewhere over the road. Did you see that story, Mark, on the AI? What's his name in Stafford? He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark, did you see that story? The 40 intersections?
No.
Okay, so it's real. 40 intersections in Stamford are going to have AI technology to actually work the traffic lights and to alter them based upon the traffic in real time. It's not going to be on a timer set based on any sort of algorithm they already made up. It's going to actually work in real time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're telling me the flow of traffic through Stamford is going to be greatly improved?
Well, they're saying
it
they're going to run it for 6 months.
Should be a great experiment.
I can't wait. This is one of the things that I actually think government's doing that I'd love to see the results of.
Yeah, anytime there's more efficiency, you're burning less gas, less air pollution. That's a good thing.
Yep.
And hopefully it'll be safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for.
Only women bleed.
Only
women bleed. Only women.
I'm so done with you.
Is that Roseanne really talking to somebody?
No, it's not Roseanne. It should have been. It's a report. It was a delegate in Baltimore.
He's your life's mistake.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's dead serious. Goodbye.
If you're heading into Hartford right now on the southbound side of 91, you got delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 slowing, approaching the Bulkley Bridge up to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound delays 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 384 okay. If you're heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Westbound 84 is a little tight, approaching the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 91 in the Parkway moving well, heading down in toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Increasing clouds for the overnight period. Our low temperature dropping to 29. Mostly cloudy up to 55 tomorrow. A couple of showers late tomorrow night. The low temperature 40. A mix of sun and clouds. A few showers, though, later on Thursday afternoon with a high of 66. And a changeable weather day on Friday. Rain in the morning, then partial sun. Temperatures dropping from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
47 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 40s, low around freezing tonight. A lockdown at 2 Waterbury schools ended without incident and no suspicious activity detected. That, according to police. They say an alleged bomb threat was called in late this morning involving North End Middle School and Wilby High School. The building was evacuated, but at about 3 p.m., police reported nothing suspicious was found and the building is no longer locked down. The NTSB says, according to a cockpit voice recorder, the fire truck that slammed into an Air Canada flight late Sunday at LaGuardia was told to stop by air traffic control before the crash after it was cleared to cross the runway shortly before that. 2 pilots on board died. NTSB investigator Doug Brazy released what was heard on that recorder. The times given here are time before impact.
At 25 seconds, Truck 1 requested to cross runway 4 at taxiway Delta. At 20 seconds, the tower cleared Truck 1 and company to cross runway 4 at taxiway Delta.
And 9 seconds before impact, the truck was told to stop. It's unclear if the 2 people in the truck heard that warning. Also, the NTSB says a runway warning system did not trigger an alarm before the crash. It's believed the alarm system didn't work as intended because the fire truck did not have a transponder. With airport security lines still backed up nationwide, senators scramble for a solution.
The Department of Homeland Security says more than 450 TSA officers have quit during the partial government shutdown because they haven't been paid. Senators are discussing a proposal to end the stalemate. It would fund most of the Homeland Security Department, including TSA agents, but exclude immigration and customs enforcement operations, which have been at the core of the dispute. There is a new Homeland Security Secretary, Mark Wayne Mullen, who says his goal is to get the department off the front page of the news.
CBS's Cammie McCormick reporting. The AP reports the potential deal would impose some of the restraints Democrats have demanded on immigration operations. Congress set to go on recess at the end of the week. Delta now suspending special services for members of Congress. That means members will be treated like others based on their Sky Miles status. As the U.S. and Israel continue to strike Iran and Iran strikes back, President Trump claims there are talks with an Iranian official, something Iran denies. Meantime, there are diplomatic efforts on another front.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio heads to Europe this week in a bid to sell the Iran war to skeptical allies. Rubio will be at a G7 meeting in France for talks focused on the Middle East, Russia's war in Ukraine, and other threats. Nearly all other G7 members have reacted coolly to the Iran war and are not participating. President Trump has alternately lashed out.
We don't need anybody.
And said it would be nice if they would take part in helping reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
You need a lot of help.
Some G7 and NATO nations have indicated a willingness recently to back appropriate action for restoring the waterway to normal operations. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
In New Haven, a fatal crash on El Grasso Boulevard. City police say a car attempted to evade a state police traffic stop before 9 this morning. The car was speeding when it crashed head-on into a pickup truck, killing the car driver. 2 people in the truck suffered non-life-threatening injuries that happened around Washington Ave and Truman Street. Crude oil prices back up about 4% today. At the pump, AAA says gas is at $3.97 a gallon nationwide, up more than $1 since a month ago. Connecticut now at $3.92. On Wall Street, the Dow closes down 84. S&P was down 25, and the NASDAQ was down 185. In sports, the NBA, Knicks host New Orleans. NHL, Bruins home against Toronto. Baseball season opens tomorrow with the Yankees in San Francisco. The Red Sox open Thursday afternoon in Cincinnati. You can hear it right here on WTIC. And Sweet 16 games for both UConn basketball teams set for Friday. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Want to hear a shocking statistic? Medical malpractice is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. Don't believe it? Google it. And that doesn't count serious injuries like birth injuries to perfectly healthy children. All doctors wear white jackets, but it doesn't make them all the same. Most medical errors are committed by the same quacks over and over again. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Many hospitals looking for more profits are forcing doctors and their groups to be employees of the hospital or be forced out of their system. It's a troubling trend in medicine. People make mistakes, but medical mistakes are huge and often forever. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury or a misdiagnosis or mistake led to a loved one's death or injury, let our team of medical malpractice lawyers examine your case for free. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Irby Fisher. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080
Appropriately
WTIC.
sized tampons. What are appropriately sized tampons? I've never heard of such a thing. What do you consider?
The reason why I'm playing that over again, we're back. It should have been the stupidest thing I read today. But it just shows you how insane the world has become. Speaking of which, let's do that.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Star Wars geeks, get ready to be excited. It happened. And it happened just a few days ago. A Canadian 17-year-old boy has developed the world's first lightsaber. Yes. Now, why am I calling it the stupidest thing I've ever heard? Because the damn thing reaches 4,000 degrees Celsius. And it's on a jetpack on the kid's back. And he's actually using it to cut through steel. We may, folks, very soon see a lightsaber. Why anybody would ever want to do this, but they have. But we've seen stranger things. Go online. You can catch it. It is on all Canadian television. The young man has the lightsaber. Do I have the picture here? I thought I posted the picture. Here it is. The lightsaber's here. You can go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com so you can check it out yourself. There it is. The very first ever working lightsaber in existence. Mark Christopher. He's going to use it to cut through the traffic. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Mark?
You see how my traffic lights work in my office? I
Yes.
sent you that.
I saw
it. I got everything under control in my office. Anyway.
And you could do yours with a button, right?
No, I just plug it in and it goes, man. It
Yeah,
goes.
I know, but I'm talking about the lightsaber here. Have you not-
lightsaber.
Yeah, there's a lightsaber in existence now. There's a kid in Canada, in all places in Canada, not in China, not
Right.
in Japan,
Right.
a Canadian. He made a lightsaber with a, I guess it's got a jetpack and whatnot. You know.
Well, that's way beyond
Yeah.
my. That's
Way above my pay grade, too.
I can hook a traffic light up and make it work. Like, lightsaber, that's on a whole different level, Reese. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 just a little slow, 33 down to 32 A and B. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound locked up about a mile before 46th Avenue to the Bulkley Bridge. 2 westbound slowing as you merge with 84 West and East Hartford. 9 northbound's a little tight, Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling on 691 eastbound, look out for an accident right near the I-91 interchange, the I-91 South interchange. That would be exit 1B. So you got some delays approaching 1B. If you are traveling into Waterbury right now, westbound side of 84, a little slow by 25, and again 22 to the Mixmaster. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got wall-to-wall sunshine out there. The clouds will increase overnight with a low temperature down to 29. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, a little bit on the warmer side with a high of 55. We'll have a couple of showers tomorrow night with a low temperature of 40. Now we'll have increasing clouds on Thursday, the high all the way up to 66 degrees. A couple of showers late in the afternoon. Those showers will spill into early Friday, then partial sunshine, but the temperatures will drop from a high of 57 early in the day to the middle 40s later in the day as a strong cold front comes through. Saturday's high 25, but up to 49 degrees on Sunday with a partly sunny sky. Right now it's 45 in Bristol, 46 in Cheshire, and 47 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back, and we are live right here with Davey Edwards, who is the founder of Open Doors Outdoors. An interesting name for an organization. When I first saw it, I was like, am I reading this right? Is that why that particular name, Davey? And you may need to move your microphone up. I'll try to keep you as high as possible. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, the name, Open Doors Outdoors, it was just, the idea is, again, my own personal stuff, and we'll talk about that. Yeah. Just opening doors within.
Okay.
Using the outdoors to open doors within people's hearts, within their minds. That's kind of how it all came together.
Listen to me. I'm immediately inspired by names that are based upon something internal or personal to you. And that's why when I saw it, I went, I know that name is personal. Yeah, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah, so opening your door to the outdoors, or opening the doors to yourself to the outdoors, and sort of identifying with the outdoors in dealing with your own personal struggles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the idea of using the outdoors to help people find reconnection, healthy activity, and healing. So our mission is to take veterans, their families, and young people into the outdoors for reconnection, healthy activity, and healing. And we do that through hiking, kayaking, snowshoeing. We have 2 side-by-side UTVs, and we start an archery program. So the idea is that the outdoors helps people connect, find healing, and eventually open up to possibilities. Specifically with veterans, the mission was always to find a way to help veterans get to the VA. That's kind of the underlying mission, is to help veterans that maybe don't even know they need help, that maybe are in lockdown, they're in a dark place, and that's kind of how we did it.
Let me ask you this. Now, having never served, but, I come from a military family. My wife is former Army, and, of course, Chris is one of my best friends. What they've all communicated to me is that their battle buddies and the places that they've made the most connections are out in the field. Yeah. Is that where you made this sort of connection on why these veterans respond to the outdoor, open doors outdoors?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, you're obviously a professional because, that's exactly what it is. What happens is, no matter what you do in the military, you create the strongest bonds because those bonds are created under stressful environments.
Yeah.
So you go through a stress, and it doesn't matter if you're stateside, if you go overseas, wherever you are with these men and women that you serve with, it's a stressful environment. Even if it's just boot camp, even if it's just your school after, and so on and so forth. So what we've learned and what I learned was that the relationship I had in the military, they were hard to duplicate. And what we do is we recreate stressful environments, which is, in our case, it's hiking mountains.
Right.
There's some organizations that they do equestrian. There's some organizations, the VFW, where you go and you hang out and you tell stories. Everyone has their own niche. The mountains do the work is kind of our mantra.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we're going to take a group of veterans, we're going to take them on a hike, and we're going to ascend a mountain. And it always starts off, everybody has a story about how many mountains they've climbed, how far they've gone. There's a lot of there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of, I guess, ego.
Yeah, sure.
So as we're going to the trailhead or we're getting ready to hike, we're hearing all the stories. I hiked here. I did this. I was in Afghanistan. I did all these things. And everyone's talking together. And we start climbing a mountain. And now it's not a walk. It's not a walk around a reservoir, which is great. Being in the outdoors is great and healing. But we specifically target mountains because within the first 20 minutes to a half mile, all the talking stops.
Really?
It just gets quiet because everyone's
negotiating.
No, everyone's going through, their bodies are stressed out because you're climbing a mountain.
Right.
No matter how good of a shape you're in, the mountain literally humbles you within the first 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
So no one can talk because nobody wants anyone to hear them breathing heavy. So all the stories they just told about how great they are and how in shape they are, it goes out the window.
Really?
But even with the guys that are in shape, even with the guys that lead, we're all struggling that first 20 minutes because your body hasn't acclimated yet.
Well, the reason why I said negotiating is because I'm saying to myself that, the talking is very, very casual, but when the mountain catches up with you, you're negotiating with how you're going to get up that mountain.
Yeah, you're trying to figure it out quietly.
Right.
Now, I'm usually in the back. I usually run sweep, and we have someone up front leading. And I can hear all the stories, all the guys talking, the girls talking. Girls are different. I'll talk about them in a second. But the guys go through this phase where they don't want anyone to know how they're struggling.
Right.
So that first 15, 20, 30 minutes goes by. We're about half mile to a mile into the climb, and someone usually breaks. And they're like, guys, I'm dying. I just need to take a break. And then what happens is other guys chime in. They're like, oh, thank God you said that because I'm dying. I'm dying. Now you got all these individuals that somehow came clean.
Yeah.
They're all humbled together, and that stressful environment bonded them together. Now they're not best friends, but they've connected in a stressful environment.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's beautiful to watch. Now I see the whole thing unfold from the back. I can see it. and I can usually pick out the guy that's going to talk the most,
Really?
the guy that's quiet. But in that moment, they're different than when they started.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can go the other 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, whatever it is, together. They're all doing it together. Now they're starting to get their wind.
Is this indicative of military?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I would say that, I think
sort of like the basic training, the beginnings before like the real cohesiveness of a unit.
Yeah, and I think it's no matter what it is. I think it could be the basic. I think it could be your A school. I think it could be your specialty school. I think it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now you have this group of men that are now connected with the other guys. There's no more competition because everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Even the leaders, even the guys that do this for a living. Now we can move up the mountain. Now what's beautiful is when we actually ascend the mountain, when we get to the top of the peak, it's the first success that a lot of these guys have had in a long time. Some of these guys, I mean, we work with guys at the VA. They essentially sometimes were homeless, and now they're in the VA. They're in the care system. So some of these guys don't have cars. Some of them don't have nice shoes. I mean, we're dealing with all different levels of people. And then there's some hikes up in the Whites where we're dealing with complete studs, guys that, we're special forces guys. I have some of our board have done multiple tours in Afghanistan. They're just in shape, but we're all the same. When you're climbing that hard mountain, you get humbled. And then when you get to the top, you have achieved something with a group.
Yeah.
It's never just one person by themselves. It's usually a small group.
Yeah, no matter how independent you are at the beginning of this, because we sort of all approach every group alone, wondering how we're going to work out with the other people, the other team members, or people who are part of said, organization. And then when they face those struggles together, all of a sudden they find themselves noticing each other's weaknesses and strengths and then using them to their own benefit, creating this team.
Yeah.
Is that... When you started this, what was the sort of impetus of this? Like, what was the beginning struggle?
So I guess it's been about 10 years, maybe longer than 10 years. I was going through a divorce with my children's mother, my first divorce, my first marriage, going through a bankruptcy, struggling, drinking, angry. I was in a very, very dark spot. Go through the divorce, and I have my children half the time. So I got $200 in the bank. I have a mortgage. They repossessed my car. It's the best worst country song you ever heard. I mean, it was bad. And I really was in a dark spot. But previous to this, I guess there's so many layers to it. Early 20s, I was a training chief in my unit in Newburgh, New York, and doing on a training run. I had my gunnery sergeant who was my direct NCO, so I reported to him. And he died. Right in front of me. I rolled him over, tried to save him. Horrible, brutal, disgusting death. Tried to save him, couldn't. I actually had to watch him expire. I had to watch him die.
Damn.
And then once he passed, then we tried to bring him back. And I basically orchestrated the whole scene. And it wasn't until years later, back then in my 20s, you're going back, 30 years. Back then, it was, hey, Edwards, are you okay?
Yeah.
And, I'm a 20-year-old Marine, and I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. It wasn't until years later that, my wife at the time, she's like, you have PTSD. Like, you should probably go to the VA. And I went. I just went. I'm like, well, if this person that I trust and I know cares for me is telling me there's a problem, I'm going to go. So I went to the VA.
You're better than a lot of people because I would have reluctantly saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about.
The truth of the matter is I went to the VA and I'm thinking, maybe I qualify for some benefits.
Sure.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe I get a free car. I don't know how it works, but maybe there's something that's going to help.
Yeah.
So I go to the VA and I sit down with a veteran service officer, and at the time he was a Purple Heart guy. So he was a combat veteran. Naturally, I was never a combat veteran. I was always stateside. So there was always that part of me that was like, well, I wasn't overseas. I wasn't in combat. So this shouldn't be an issue. I should be fine.
Yeah.
Because you see people coming back and everyone's fine.
Right.
You think they're fine.
Yeah.
Nobody's fine. So I go and I start telling my story. And as I'm telling my story, I'm crying about, explaining what happened, how the gunny died and what was going on, and this Purple Heart guy, his eyes get really big. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me. I'm like, dude, what's your problem? He goes, you need to go downstairs. Like, you need to go to the psych ward. So I went down and I talked to a psychiatrist, and they're like, yeah, you got a lot going on here, man. You need to deal with this. And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, all right, I'm still waiting for the car. I'm like, all right, I told my story.
Sure, whatever you guys say, I'm in.
Yeah. And so I did a 12-week cognitive behavior, and it was a 12-week program. And it was the best thing I ever did. I mean, all I did really for 12 weeks was write about this situation and talk about it, and a lot of tears and a lot of shame. I mean, I still bear that shame. I have guys that I respect very much that, and like I said, on the outside, they appear perfectly squared away, and they've done multiple tours, and I carry this anxiety and I carry this this trauma that has it led to a lot of things. But the VA was awesome. It was awesome, and the VA has a very bad rap. And
it's so funny as you were saying, and I was just going, wow, there's a kind of a light, well, I would say a beautiful picture of the VA and how it helped you. I believe those stories are out there most time. Yeah. As many people have said, that sometimes we focus on the past, on the bad, in order to sort of gain more good. But I totally get that. So how did this spawn into? Is this the reason why Open Doors began?
Yeah. So here I am. I'm broke. I got 3 little kids half the time.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine gave me a minivan. It was like a 1986 minivan, and I'm trying to survive, and I have the SNAP benefits. I'm getting oil from CRT. I'm basically I'm just a mess. I can't get out. I'm stuck is what it is. I was stuck, and I couldn't get out of it. But I had 3 little kids that needed me. So every weekend, every other weekend, and 3 days during the week, I would go to the library and I get free zoo passes, free museum passes.
Okay.
And we'd hop in the minivan and we would have this great life. And these kids never missed a beat. They had a great life. And I stayed in the house that I bought before the marriage. So they're in their home that they were born into, and they had their rooms. And it wasn't perfect. It was hard, but it was, for them, they had this great life.
Yeah.
So as I'm doing the museum and as I'm doing the zoo passes, I started taking them hiking. And we're doing little mountains. We're doing Case Mountain in Manchester.
So this became sort of a desperation, I'm running out of money here deal.
I tell everybody the same thing. You can be a great father if you have money for gas and snacks. If you got money for gas and snacks, you can be a great dad. You just keep those kids moving. Windshield therapy is when you're just driving and the kids are looking out the window. But we started doing these hikes, and they were good hikers, and they're all very strong. So we started doing bigger hikes, and next thing you know, we're doing Mount Greylock. And I laugh about Mount Greylock, and I actually texted my kids that I was going to be on the radio, so if they're listening. But Mount Greylock is one of my favorite stories because it's a taller mountain in Massachusetts, and it's tough. It's a tough climb. It's an old ski mountain, and at any given moment, one kid was laughing. One kid was crying, and one kid was completely confused. And they rotated through all these emotions, but we got him to the top of the mountain. And I remember as we're coming down, I saw a father, and he had his son, and he's like, he was struggling to get his one child up. And he's like, you just got 3 kids up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. And so I use that to share with people, and I put it on social media. And it's funny at the time when you're going through a divorce and it's bad, you start putting like cryptic things on social media. Like this person gave me a black box and it was the best gift they ever gave me. And everyone's like, what's going on? And you're just trying to, and so you're putting the picture of the kids like, hey, I'm doing great. I was dying.
Yeah.
But I was trying to give the kids a normal life. I was trying to be normal. So as people saw us climbing, eventually my son at 7 years old climbed Mount Washington in New Hampshire. It's the tallest mountain, I guess, north of the Mason-Dixon line. There's one taller down south, but I got him up. So what happened was people started seeing this on social media, and they're like, hey, where did you park? What trail did you take? How long does it take?
Yeah.
Started asking for information. So Open Doors Outdoors started with me sharing information before Open Doors was even an idea.
Right.
So I started sharing information. And then people who knew what I was going through, they're like, hey, can you take me and my son? So then I started sharing the hikes. So after about 2 years, so 2015, I went through my divorce. 2017, I started. So it's been 2 years of healing.
Yeah.
And I was getting better. So what I realized is that I live in South Glastonbury. I have a beautiful little home right down by the ferry.
Yeah.
Beautiful neighborhood. And on the outside, it looked like everything was great. But in the inside, I was dying.
Yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Sure.
So I decided that I was like, you know what? There's got to be other guys like me, dads that are struggling, they're broke. So what we did is Open Doors Outdoors was created. So there's so many great funny stories.
I'm going to put you on hold there because these
do.
are great. No, you've been knocking it out of the park, man. I barely had to speak. You have been amazing. I want to know more about this. We're right at the point where we get we're at the introduction of Open Doors Outdoors. We're here with Davey Edwards, the founder of that organization. Stand by. We got so much more to get into. He's here. You can contribute, by the way. We'll get to that in the second half of our interview. Stand by for that. Mark Christopher, he's got a job to do. He's getting you in and out of work. If you're going home, going to work now. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Good day, sir.
Good day, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 A and B. If you're westbound 84 delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Secondary Street, 84 eastbound's locked up a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound is slowing, 1D up to the 84 west merge in East Hartford. Into Middletown, 9 northbound's tight, Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Again, 9 northbound slowing from exit 32 up to 34. In New Britain, if you're on the eastbound side of 691, look out for a crash just prior to the 91 South ramp. And then that is exit 1B, and look for delays approaching exit 2A behind that. So lengthy delay there. If you are traveling into Waterbury right now, a little slowdown westbound as you approach the Aragoni. 84 eastbound slowing by 18. 95 South New Haven slows a little bit. 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The cloud cover that we saw build a little bit later in the afternoon will continue to increase overnight with a low temperature of 29. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, the high temperature 55. Rather cloudy, a couple of showers late tomorrow night, the low temperature down to 40. A mix of sun and clouds, breezy, a couple of showers for the drive home from work on Thursday, the high temperature 66. We will see the rain Thursday night, a shower in the morning on Friday, then partial sunshine. However, the temperatures will drop from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. Mostly sunny, downright cold on Saturday with a high of 25, and partly sunny on Sunday, the high temperature up to 49. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
47 degrees at 4:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. President Trump claims Iran wants a deal to end the war and talks are ongoing. This as more missile attacks flew in various directions. CBS's Tina Krause reports.
A senior Iranian official says Tehran is reviewing U.S. proposals sent through a mediator, but no formal talks are underway. Pakistan is now offering to help. On Tuesday, President Trump reposted a message from Pakistan's prime minister, saying they stand ready and honored to host and facilitate meaningful talks. Trump said both sides have 15 points of agreement.
In cryptic Oval Office remarks, the president said this afternoon Iran gave the U.S. a present, but he's not saying what that is.
Gave us a present, and the present arrived today. It was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
In other news, the NTSB says, according to a cockpit voice recorder, the fire truck that slammed into an Air Canada flight late Sunday at LaGuardia was told to stop by air traffic control before the crash about 10 seconds after it was cleared to cross the runway. 2 pilots on board died. NTSB investigator Doug Brazy released what was heard in that recorder. The times given here are time before impact.
At 9 seconds, the tower instructed truck 1 to stop. At 8 seconds, there was a sound consistent with the airplane's landing gear touching down on the runway. At 6 seconds, there was a pilot transfer of controls from one pilot to the other. And at 4 seconds, the tower again instructed truck 1 to stop. At 0 seconds, the recording ended.
The NTSB says 2 people were in the tower at the time of the crash, but it's unclear which one was on ground control. The UConn women's team got a send-off on campus this afternoon. They're already on their way to Fort Worth for Friday's Sweet 16 game with North Carolina. Last night, Easy Fudd was very humble about her 34-point game in a blowout win over Syracuse.
I was all right, yeah. I mean, I don't know, it was just, I was trying to be aggressive, so I felt like I was like, okay, I'm being aggressive. If I'm open, I'll shoot it. If I'm not, I'll pass it, and they kept leaving me open.
Tip-off 5 p.m. our time Friday. The UConn men play at 9:45 that night against Michigan State. That game in Washington, D.C. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 84. S&P dropped 25 points. The NASDAQ was off 184. Sports, NBA Knicks home for New Orleans and the Bruins home for Toronto. Regular season baseball starts tomorrow. The Yankees in San Francisco and the Red Sox open Thursday afternoon in Cincinnati. You can hear it here on WTIC. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
I'm fixing to tell you something that the insurance industry does not want you to ever hear. Bullies often delay and deny. I see them sitting on premiums paid and making money and dragging it out for as long as they can. Many times, we're forced to take them to court. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Their high-paid lobbyists are on a mission to make sure that at trial, jurors are not allowed to learn that the at-fault party has insurance, and in some cases, lots of it. I can think of no case in all my years where there was no insurance for the at-fault party. So let's fight back. It's all these bullies understand. Tell everybody you know the truth. If you've been injured in a car crash or hurt at a store or business, visit forthepeople.com. We're here 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Nicholas Russo, 157 Church Street, New Haven, 06510.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back. This is only a short sort of 2-minute segment, Davey. By the way, we're here with Davey Edwards of Open Door Outdoors. Real quick, you were finishing up the last statement, if you remember. So you started telling people or giving information on how they can go to the mountains that you were scaling with the kids.
Yeah.
That turned into you deciding that you were just going to make it a thing?
Yeah. So what happened? So from 2015, 2017, I'm taking people out, getting experience. People are kind of asking for help. So I started helping, and I just got the idea, hey, there's got to be other people like me. So I reached out to a very good friend of mine. He's been a friend for years and years, and he's always been my accountant. And I reached out to him, and he's very aware of what was going on in my life at the time, and very supportive. And I said, hey, I have an idea for a nonprofit. So I pitched it to him. I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? He's like, I love it. Let's do it. And I was like, well, let me just ask you this first. Like, you thought my frozen yogurt idea was great, and that failed. You thought the mortgage company was great, and that failed. And you thought my boat company was great, and that failed. I'm like, man, I got to know. Like, is this it? Like, are you sure?
Your accountant was George Foreman. He likes every idea.
Yeah. And so he did. He said no. He goes, this one. He goes, this is going to work. He goes, as a matter of fact, I'll be your first donor, and I'm going to pay for the paperwork fee to get it incorporated. So he actually not only got it incorporated for us, but he sat on the board as our as basically the organization accountant.
What year did this begin?
This started in 2018, October of 2018.
And you've been going strong ever since. Here we are right now. That would put us at, what, about 8 years now?
Yeah, 8 years.
Wow. And this is all you do. This is your thing.
This is it. I do some, but you don't make a lot running a nonprofit. So I have a side hustle where I do marketing. And, but yeah, for the most part, this is my full-time
That's right. You run a marketing company.
Yeah.
All right. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. Somebody may need some help. I don't know. It's a very charismatic, tall, and very good-looking black radio host. And he's a guy I know. He's all right. I may need some. He may need. Did I say me? No. He may need some help. But we'll talk later. We are going to come back more with Davey Edwards of Open Door Outdoors. We're going to, of course, discuss how you can help, how you can be a part, and if this is right for you. We will get to all of that with him. He is our guest here for the next half an hour, so stand by for that. If you got some questions for him, go to the chat room. You can do that by going to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE ontheradio.com. Go there now. Give us your questions. I'll scale through them, and we'll ask them if you got them. All right, so stand by for that. Mark Christopher, he's getting you home. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. How we doing, sir?
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. This traffic report is being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. And if you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 4 eastbound is slowing about a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. South of 91's a little tight, 33 down to 32 A and B. Another bump down by exit 28. 9 northbound, you're looking slow in Middletown, Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. And again, some slow traffic in Berlin, 9 northbound up by exit 32. If you are on the eastbound side of 691 in Meriden, looks like we have an accident just prior to the 91 ramps, and that would be at exit 1B. So look for delays right now. And that, by the way, is in the right lane. Look for delays back to 2A behind that. So that's picking up some heavy volume there. If you are heading into Waterbury right now, you're seeing some slow traffic now as you move from exit 25 in Waterbury, and again westbound from 22 to the Mixmaster. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic moves slow, but your transformation shouldn't. Columbia Implant Center provides full dental implants at just one visit, open 7 days a week in Manchester to fit your busy life. Get your smile back today at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got wall-to-wall sunshine this afternoon. The high clouds will start to move in overnight with the low temperature down to 29. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. The mercury climbs to 55 degrees. A couple of showers for the evening commute tomorrow night, and then it will be cloudy with the low temperature of 40. We will have a mix of sun and clouds Thursday. That'll be the warmest day of the week with a high of 66 and a couple of showers later in the afternoon. Friday, the transition day, with a shower in the morning. It'll turn much colder in the afternoon. Initially, the high temperature hits 57, and then we drop back into the 40s later in the day. Mostly sunny Saturday, the high 42, partly sunny up to 49 on Sunday, and cloudy on Monday with a high of 57. Right now, 43 in Willimantic, 45 in Plainville, and 48 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Cloder Farms. Home run sheds, gazebos, and furniture. Quality built for your home at CloderFarms.com.
For quality vinyl siding, the Peter L. Brown Company is your best choice. Let us show you the difference a beautifully installed Peter L. Brown vinyl siding job can make. Please visit PeterLBrown.com for roofing, siding, windows, and doors.
Every business starts with an idea. With Smart Business Buying from Amazon Business, get everything you need to grow in one familiar place. From office supplies to IT essentials and maintenance tools. Ready to bring your visions to life? Learn how at AmazonBusiness.com.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Thomaston Savings Bank. Here for you, here for the community, here to stay. Member FDIC. Visit ThomastonSB.com.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we are back and we are live. Davey Edwards of Open Door Outdoors is here. And Open Doors Outdoors, I want to make sure I get that right. So your organization, 8 years in, you do events every year. And of course, you are a charitable organization, so donations help. Tell us, let's start at the bottom and work our way up how can one donate to this organization, and why should they donate?
Yeah. So I'm going to drop back a little bit.
Sure.
One thing I left out is, so I'm broke. I'm hurting.
Yes.
I had a refrigerator. I used to arrange the food in the refrigerator so my kids would look in and they think there was a lot more food than there was.
Wow.
I'd bring all the food to the front. It was so bad. It's embarrassing.
No, listen to me. I don't care what you say about how bad you were struggling. You are so inventive.
It was rough. But the reason why I bring that up is because if someone bought me a meal at the time, it was a big deal.
Right.
Someone took me out to dinner. So Open Doors Outdoors, we provide a guided adventure, transportation, and a free meal.
Wow.
So we actually, it's beautiful. We have a 10-passenger van. We were doing a fundraiser for the 10-passenger van, and we raised about half of it. And I got a phone call from an individual that has very fond feelings for Open Doors, and they said, "Hey, how much do you have left in the fundraiser?" And I said, $33,000. And they're like, "All right, I'm going to write a check."
Wow.
So now we have this 10-passenger van that's paid for, and it's an absolute blessing. So what we do is we provide transportation to the adventure. We provide the hike, and then on the way back, we provide a meal. And the idea is that meal kind of solidifies the whole experience. And these people that we take out may not be able to afford food. We don't know. We assume because, again, nobody knew how bad I was struggling because on the outside, everything looked fine.
Right.
So that's how we do it. So everything is free to our participants, and that leads into your question about donations and sponsorship. Everything can be done through our website.
Okay.
We have everything can be done right through there, PayPal, Venmo. And why?
Website?
Website is opendoorsoutdoors.org. And the why is, gosh, I never thought about the why.
Why they should donate?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, talk to me about some of the people whom they would be helping, because in essence, what you're doing, you're providing these things for them. And let's talk about it in this way, because I think this would probably help people understand why they should donate. Who you are providing these experiences for are whom?
Yeah. Veterans, their families, and young people. So when I was stuck, when I was in a very dark place, I was able to get out of that because of my children. Serving my children was my why.
Yeah.
Now, most veterans they don't have the why.
Yeah.
So what we do is we provide these free services to veterans and their families. So the reason why the families are because our mission with the Reconnection, Healthy Activity, and Healing, a veteran is not going to sit there in a dark place, maybe drinking, maybe alone, whatever it is, and think, oh, I need to reconnect. I need healthy activity. I need healing.
Right.
But if that veteran who may be feeling very bad about themselves has the opportunity to put their kids in a brand new UTV and go on a 5-mile course in South Glastonbury, Connecticut, they're going to come out for their kids. So that's where the mission, and that's why we have veterans and their families.
Right.
There's some organizations, they just serve veterans, which is awesome. But what we do is we try to make it to where that veteran has a reason to have some dignity to show his kids, like, hey, I can still provide. I can still do this. And maybe there's a veteran that's making $200,000 a year that now has the opportunity to just be back in that environment. So who you're serving veterans, their families, and young people. And do I have time to talk about the young people piece also?
Please.
So my hope was I wanted to write a grant and get a UTV. A UTV is a side-by-side, 5 to 6 people you can take out. It's like a big dune buggy. And so I was able to write a grant. I got a $30,000 UTV, and I was going to start taking out disabled veterans that can't enjoy the outdoors as their able-bodied counterparts. It just means that they can't go hiking or they can't go for a walk, whatever it is. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to take them out. So Justin Walters, he was a veteran that came up as a hiker, as a veteran, got his wife involved. We were able to outfit him and take him on hikes, and he eventually became a volunteer. And it was perfect. He was this great guy, and he had 2 autistic children that were born while him and his wife were in service. So I said, Justin, can we take out your sons just so I can learn the logistics of taking people out in the UTV? He's like, sure. So we end up getting in the UTV. One of his boys was nonverbal, and the other boy was on the spectrum, very sharp, very smart. So he was in the front with me, and the nonverbal boy was in the back seat with his father. And as we get him strapped in, he starts struggling. He's having a panic attack. He's starting to really be uncomfortable, and it's starting to get elevated. Now, I had never seen this before. I don't have an autistic child. I had never seen this. So I'm like, dude, what are you going to do? He's like, go. He's like, just go. So I start the machine, and we start going, and the boy calms down. So we had no idea this existed. It happened totally by accident. It's called vibration therapy. Vibration therapy from the machines had this calming effect on this autistic boy. And then from there, we started a whole new program just serving autistic children and their families. So now what we do is we have 2 side-by-sides, and we take them out through this 5-mile course in South Glastonbury free of charge. And now these families, one thing that I learned is that one of the things that a family with an autistic child struggles with is being out and feeling comfortable, because you never know what their child's going to do. Mm-hmm. In the UTV, they're free to do whatever they want. They can act or do whatever they want, but most of the time they're just taking it all in, and they're very calm. We go through a river, the kids get wet, there's hills and there's drops, and they get mud on them. Some kids don't like all aspects of it, but their parents are like, keep going, we're fine. Most of the parents are very, because I think the parents enjoy it just as much.
I'm sure. I mean, they're having an experience they would otherwise not even participate in.
It doesn't exist. There's nowhere that you can go and be given these rides in Connecticut that I'm aware of. You can rent them up in New Hampshire, and there's different spots. So the service, when people make a donation to Open Doors Outdoors, it goes to serve veterans. It goes to serve veterans and their families, and it goes to serve children. And a lot of times the children of the veterans and the autistic children, they're the ones that get the most blessing from it. Now, the fathers, when you see the faces of the parents, you know that they feel good about what they're doing. Yeah. But all the donations go to support these programs. It goes right to program support and transportation, meals, insurance. All these things, the car payment on a truck. We have a brand new F-150 that we get to transport people out, and that's who gets served, and that's where the money goes.
Definitely donate, folks. It is opendoorsoutdoors.org. Again, opendoorsoutdoors.org. You've done this again 8 years. You obviously have some people who are dedicated to that. They're donating. I mean, you have sponsors, right? You can even have sponsorships.
Yes.
Or people can sponsor if they're business owners to sponsor this. You have, because I'm assuming that these there are events, I should say, that people sort of co-sponsor or are part of. Do you want to talk a little bit about the events and some of those sponsors?
Yeah, so our biggest event that we have coming up is June 17th. It's our 3rd annual golf tournament, and we're looking for all kinds of corporate sponsorship and golfers that will come and participate. And again, we have 2 big fundraisers, the golf tournament and the Saturday after Thanksgiving is our biggest run. We do a 5K 5-mile run. It takes place in Hobson Hill in Glastonbury, Connecticut, and there's a 5K and a 5-mile loop. It's a walk, ruck, run, and our golf tournament is at Lyman Orchards in Connecticut. And
okay, hold on for a little bit. Is this a walk, run marathon?
Nope, it's a 5K.
Okay, can't do that one.
Yeah. 5K, no, you could do that one.
I can't. 5K, that's so long. I'm trying to get 2 miles in.
Yeah, well, that's just a little more than 2 miles. But you can walk it.
Okay.
You can ruck it, which is wearing a ruck vest or a weighted vest.
Okay.
Or you can run it.
Okay.
And there's also a 5-mile option. Same thing. Walk, ruck, run.
Okay, I think I want to do that one then.
Yeah.
The walk, run, walk thing, I might want to do that.
Yeah, the 5-mile. It's a little longer than the 5K, but you've committed, so that's good.
I didn't say that. I said I'd like to do it. Well, maybe I'll commit.
It'll be good.
Yeah, I think I'll do that one. Is that one? What day is that one?
That's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, Saturday after Thanksgiving. Okay, that's actually good weather. Yeah. I kind of like that. Okay, good. Sign me up for that. It's enough time for me to get fit and be ready for that. I'm doing about 2 miles, 2.5 right now.
That sounds
so
great.
I think I can do it.
You can totally do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to your level over there. Yeah. Really trying to do that. Let me ask you something. You said something about the golfers. Is that you want golfers to come out? Are you going to do something like a sort of how do they do that? What is it, like a pro-am kind of deal? Are you planning on doing something like that?
It's a tournament. It's
okay.
Basically it's I'm not a golfer myself, but it's a shotgun start. Best ball is what it's called. So the foursome, all 4 hit, and then wherever the best ball is, they use that ball.
Okay.
And then there's a great raffle after, and one of our board members, Matt Udall, does a fantastic job putting together this entire raffle. He's actually a phenomenon in the golfing world in Connecticut because the raffle is amazing. And Tracy Robinson, she is our secretary, but also she puts this on for us. And you said something about, and I want to make sure that I made this very clear, I am the founder, and it's great. But without our board of directors, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't have made it the years that we have. We have such a robust board of directors that I think what happens is, I think my story is compelling, and that's fine. But no matter how compelling the story is, people before they give, most of them will go to the website and they'll go to the board of directors.
Yeah.
And I think when they see our board, they're like, wow, this is a very serious organization. These are very smart, intelligent, well-off individuals that are choosing Open Doors Outdoors. They could serve at any organization they wanted, but they choose Open Doors Outdoors, and I'm always humbled by that. And people ask me, they'll say, what about your organization? What's so special about it? And it's not the impact. The impact is amazing,
right?
But I'm always amazed at the people that want to be a part of it, the people that want to serve on the board or be on a committee or do a GoFundMe for it. That's when I'm humbled the most, because when you're in it, when you're in the grind of it, there's no you kind of have tunnel vision. I just got to keep going. I just got to keep going. But when people are from the outside looking in and they want to be a part of it, that's when you know you built something really special.
Yeah, I mean, and longevity counts. 8 years, starting literally from scratch. I mean, a guy who you openly admit, like, you kind of felt like you had bottomed out.
Yeah, I was at the bottom.
And I say that, as you were talking about your story in the beginning, all I heard was my story. When I decided that I was going to, go alcohol free, when I decided I was going to go smoke free, I was going to change my life. I remember all of those things that I'd become sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then God finds something in your heart and finds something that not only you're enthusiastic about, but something that keeps you or makes you whole. And you reference that with your children. You begin by sort of finding your focus with trying to do something with your children, and then something anew is built out of it, because your children get older, they become more independent, and then when that no longer becomes the thing that you lean on or the thing that you use as your excuse, you find out where the rubber meets the road. And here it is. The kids are teenagers. They've on with their own lives. They're doing their thing, and you're still here at it. So it means it's more than an idea, and it may not be even a mission. It becomes a way of life. Would you call it that?
Yeah, again, you're obviously a professional with these questions. You're amazing. What Open Doors Outdoors was, it gave me an opportunity to share things I was already passionate about. So the hiking, I love hiking. The UTVs, love UTVs. The archery program, love archery. Everything outdoors, we're doing things that I love. So I said it in another interview. I said, the saying is, if you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. And I tell everybody the same thing. I haven't worked in a long time. I really haven't. Running an organization, it's hard work.
Sure.
But man, it doesn't feel like it most of the time. It feels like a blessing. And you'll have, as you have a team and you're building this team, especially with a board of directors, you have people that are with you for 2 or 3 or 4 years, and they don't want to leave. They have to go, but they don't want to let go because Open Doors is so special. And those are the toughest times, is when someone has to go, when they need to move on, and even try to give them an out, like, hey, beginning of the year, if anybody's there, you got to go. We love you, you got to go. And that's something that also tells me that Open Doors is a special place, because they say 2 to 3 years a board member naturally kind of experiences burnout.
Sure.
But it has nothing to do with their passion for the organization.
That's right.
So when I see that, I'm like, oh, people moving on. So what I try to do is, when you see people taking on too much because they're so motivated, you try to scale them back. And it's.
Is it difficult for them to deal with that scale back? They almost feel insulted. Like, what are you saying? I can't do it?
Yeah, it is. People, I think people love to serve. I know. I can only speak for Open Doors, but I know that the people that are part of Open Doors, they love veterans, and they love the autism program is amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah.
And to see the kids and to be a part of that. And, we actually do 2 special events for families with autistic kids. We have our Family Autism Awareness Day, which is June 7th.
Okay.
And then we have our Christmas extravaganza, which I laugh because we have Santa. And
well, we're going to listen. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you back before the June event. We'll bring you back really, really soon. And I do have to wrap it up because I got to go to traffic. But folks, Davey Edwards, thank you, by the way, very, very much for coming in short notice. I think we planned this like last week. Folks, please go to OpenDoorsOutdoors.org. Again, OpenDoorsOutdoors.org. Play a part in helping out veterans in needs and, of course, their family members, their children. This is a great organization, and I think you and I think I'm going to do a lot with you, Davey. I really want to be a part of this. And I hope you'll give me the opportunity to. We got to get the weather and traffic. We're already running late. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. If you are heading into the greater Hartford area right now, you're going to see delays 91 southbound 33 down to 32 AMB. Another bump down by exit 28, Hartford Weather Shield line. Slowing a little bit again down by exit 19 and 18 as you move 91 south into Meriden. If you are traveling westbound, 84 delays approaching the Boakey Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slows from 44 Prospect Oakwood down into the tunnel. On the westbound side of Route 2, East Hartford, some slow traffic as you approach the 84 West merge. Heading into Middletown 9 northbound, slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound, Waterbury, a little slow by 25. And again at the Mixmaster. South 95 New Haven, slowing 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The cloud cover that we saw start to increase during the afternoon continues overnight with a low of 29. Mostly cloudy, the high 55 tomorrow. Rather cloudy, a couple of showers late tomorrow night, the low temperature 40. We will have a mix of sun and clouds, breezy with a couple of showers for the drive home from work on Thursday afternoon with a high of 66. And Friday, a changeable day. A shower in the morning, partial sun in the afternoon, temperatures falling from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
This is WTIC News Talk 1080 with Brian and Company in the morning, Reese on the radio in the afternoon, and news around the clock. WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
47 degrees, 5 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. Waterbury police say the lockdown is over at North End Middle School and Wilby High School. They were evacuated late this morning after a possible bomb threat was called in. Police say the building is no longer locked down, and after a sweep, nothing suspicious was found. As long TSA lines persist at airports, senators are working on a deal to fund Homeland Security without funding some operations at ICE.
DHS says more than 450 TSA agents who haven't been paid since mid-February have quit.
It is time to end this.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune wants Democrats to back a potential breakthrough deal to fund much of the department, but leave out key ICE operations at the impasse's core. Top House Democrat Hakeem Jeffries says they'll look at the proposal.
But it's got to be consistent if it's going to deal with ICE, with the types of changes that are bold, meaningful, and dramatic.
President Trump is also non-committal.
I think any deal they make, I'm pretty much not happy with it.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
Also, President Trump claims the U.S. is in talks with Iran to end the war. Iran denies direct talks. The fighting continues, with Iran firing a dozen missile salvos at Israel.
With the war now in its fourth week, President Trump says negotiations are underway to end the fighting.
The leaders are all gone. Nobody knows who to talk to. But we're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly.
A senior Iranian official says Tehran is reviewing U.S. proposals sent through a mediator, but no formal talks are underway.
CBS's Tina Kraus reporting Pakistan has offered to host talks, but Iran remains defiant, with a top military spokesman vowing to fight until complete victory. The NTSB says a runway warning system did not trigger an alarm before an Air Canada jet and a fire truck collided at LaGuardia late Sunday. 2 pilots were killed. It's believed the alarm system didn't work as intended because the fire truck did not have a transponder. The cockpit voice recorder shows the truck was told to stop 9 seconds before impact. There are still questions about who was in the tower at the time. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
We have seen different information about how many certified professional controllers were in the facility. And we need to verify that starting with interviews this afternoon. We'll begin to interview the local controller at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We do have logs, but there's also conflicting information, including dates and times on the logs. So now we have to go through that and rectify some of those inconsistencies. We do, however, know that there were 2 people in the cab, 2 people in the tower cab.
The NTSB will interview 2 firefighters in the truck to find out whether they braked or turned to avoid a crash. In New Haven, a fatal crash on El Agrasso Boulevard. City police say a car attempted to evade a state police traffic stop before 9 this morning. The car was speeding when it crashed head-on into a pickup, killing the car driver. 2 people in the truck suffered non-life-threatening injuries. And the UConn women's basketball team is traveling to Fort Worth for the Sweet 16. There was an on-campus send-off this afternoon. Fans are still raving about last night's blowout of Syracuse. Easy Fudd says it was a peak performance.
I would say it definitely is one of our best first quarters, and not just offensively, but just as a complete game. I felt like our defense, we were super in sync, and that started with Sarah Williams tonight. She played phenomenal defense against their best player, best scorer, and I'm super proud of her. So for her to go out there, do that, and then everyone else to follow suit behind her, she definitely led the way.
Fudd tied a career high with 34 points. UConn plays North Carolina Friday. Tip-off at 5 our time. The UConn men play Michigan State at 9:45 Friday night. And don't forget UConn men's hockey in the tournament, 1:30 p.m. Thursday in Worcester, also facing Michigan State. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 84 points. S&P dropped 25. The NASDAQ was off 184. More sports. NBA Knicks hosting New Orleans. NHL Boston hosting Toronto. Baseball's regular season opens tomorrow with the Yankees in San Francisco, Red Sox and the Reds Thursday afternoon. You can hear it on WTIC. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Let's take a step back in time to an era when things were built right, built to last, and a handshake meant something. Yankee Home delivers that same craftsmanship still today. If your bathroom has moldy corners, dingy grout lines, broken tiles, and rust stains, it's time to call Yankee Home. You can have a brand new, bright, beautiful bathroom in as little as 1 day. That's right, 1 day. From design to demo, plumbing to final product, our team will transform your bath fast. Every job is done right the first time, never cattywampus. For a limited time, get free installation on any bath or shower system. Call Yankee Home at 1-800-885-HOME. That's 1-800-885-HOME. Or visit yankeehome.com. That's yankeehome.com.
Yankee Home makes it easy as can be with our never cattywampus lifetime guarantee. Yankee Home.
On approved credit, restrictions apply.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we are back and stand by. We have got Deborah Stevenson. She is on hold. We're going to grab her in a bit. After we get from weather and traffic, we'll find out from her where we are with the homeschooling fight against the state of Connecticut. Hard to believe that we actually have to say those words. But apparently that's where we are. But I definitely want to thank Davey Edwards of Open Doors Outdoors. Great story, great organization, and we're going to see him a lot. He'll be back here before the June event. It's hard to believe that we're already in April, or at least coming up soon. Yeah, we'll have him back and see what we can do to help out. And of course, you know, my wife, being a veteran, is probably going to be very excited to be a part of this. So we'll get to all of that in a little bit. Also coming up, we've got a lot of news. I want to get back to that Baltimore story with Delegate Kathy Zaliga and Delegate Ken Kerr. That conversation about tampons in the men's room, which is an interesting dynamic. We'll get to that. Plus, this story about the reemergence of this story where Chris Murphy says that the most important people to the Democrat Party are the illegals or undocumented, as he called it. Why that has now sort of bubbled up into the collective minds of people online and in the newsrooms. We'll talk about that as well. Mark Christopher, he is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you and to everyone. And if you're traveling on the southbound side of I-91 into Hartford, look for slow traffic 33 down to 32 A and B. Again, some slow traffic as you move from exit 27 down to exit 28. Westbound 84 is slowing east Hartford just after 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. If you're traveling into Middletown 9 northbound, slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 91 southbound, a brief slowdown between 19 and 18 in Meriden. 84 westbound, you'll slow a little bit, 22 up to the Mixmaster. And 95 south New Haven tight, 46 down to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got wall-to-wall sunshine, the humidity down to 23 to 25%, so that's why you need the hand moisturizer and to prevent chapped lips. Now, tonight our temperatures are going to drop to 29 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy up to 55, and then a couple of showers to moisten the atmosphere tomorrow night, the low temperature 40. Periods of sun and clouds on Thursday. It'll become breezy during the day. It'll be 66 degrees. That'll be the warmest temperature that we have all week. A couple of showers late in the afternoon. Those showers carry on till early Friday. Then the temperature will drop from 57 degrees Friday around noon or so into the middle 40s by later in the day. Mostly sunny to partly sunny over the weekend, 42 on Saturday and 49 degrees on Sunday. Right now, 45 in Wethersfield, 43 in Hebron, and 48 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Cloder Farms. Home run sheds, gazebos, and furniture. Quality built for your home at cloderfarms.com.
Join us this Sunday for Tumalo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father-son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumalo Financial, retirement planning with integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Jerry Puya from Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe. For over 35 years, my brother Joe and I have been fortunate to have the communities we serve support us. We want to give back to those communities. We are partnering with Connecticut Food Share to reduce food insecurity here in Connecticut. For every Becca breakfast sandwich we sell, Between Rounds will donate 50 cents to Connecticut Food Share. The Between Rounds Becca is bacon, egg, cheese, Hellman's Chipotle mayo, and avocado served on a bagel, roll, wrap, or to make it exceptional, a croissant. If you come in groggy and order this sandwich, you will leave happy and enjoy the feeling of helping others. Order the Between Rounds Becca today. It will put you in a good mood. Between Rounds Bakery Sandwich Cafe in Vernon, Manchester, South Windsor, East Windsor, and Tolland. We'd love to see you. Visit BetweenRoundsBagels.com for franchise information and to order online.
Savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between rounds. Between rounds. Between rounds. Between rounds.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
We're back. I'll actually read your comments in the chat room on Davey Edwards in a second. But let me get to this young lady who we finally have on the phone here. Deborah Stevenson, attorney at law, is here. Hold on, let me play your sound effects here, Deborah. Deborah, how are you?
Pretty good. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. All right. So you have been anywhere and everywhere fighting for homeschooling parents, fathers and mothers alike, and of course the students, their children, appropriately. Talk to me about what you've been doing and where you are, because I understand there's been some. What's the word I'm looking for? I apologize. I don't know why, but it's you've been looking for information, and you have put out a request of information.
Yes. Well, a Freedom of Information request.
That's correct.
That I had put out in May of 2025.
Okay.
This was after that informational session that we had with the Education and Children's Committee, and the child advocate, Christina Gio, had issued a report on May 5th in the morning just before that hearing. But we wanted to find out more about that report. A couple of things have happened since then. We had two Yukon statisticians went through her report. And you have to understand this report had bells and whistles in it, charts, and purported to say a lot of things about why homeschoolers should be regulated. And so we wanted to check out and make sure, those statistics or figures in there were correct or whatever. It turns out the two statisticians from Yukon said not so much. It wasn't a statistical report. It wasn't a comparative report. It was only kind of a descriptive review. Some stories were told and conclusions drawn for it. Anyway, we wanted to get the underlying data from that, and so we filed this Freedom of Information request, and we were denied completely the underlying data for that report. And just this week, yesterday, we had a hearing, partial hearing, before the Freedom of Information hearing officer, because the child advocate had decided to file a motion to dismiss our request, saying we're not going to release anything. It should be dismissed because all of the stuff we have, under investigation, we don't have to release.
Okay.
And I disagreed with that because there are exceptions in the law for when it is considered of extreme public or heightened public interest.
This is.
So that's what we are. Yeah, well, that's what I said. I mean, she issued her report on May 5th, the day of the informational hearing, where 4,000 people showed up to hear what was going on. I'd say that's a matter of public interest.
Yeah.
And regulation of homeschooling obviously is a matter of public interest anyway.
Sure.
So that was the argument that was heard in part yesterday. Now, we ran out of time, so that hearing will continue, and we'll continue the argument and see where that goes. So that's one aspect.
Now, I understand there is another FOIA request that is going to be sent out to the governor. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes. Yes, we had sent a request to several people in May of last year. And what we wanted from the governor was, because the governor had stated early on that homeschooling should be regulated. So we wanted to find out, what he had to say and who he was talking to about it, et cetera, because we had previously obtained other information after May 5th from another Freedom of Information request indicating that the governor's office was involved in meeting with various people behind closed doors to propose or draft legislation to regulate homeschoolers. And there were 12 different iterations of that proposed bill before May 5th, between March of last year and May 5th of last year.
Are you at liberty?
Everybody said at the time.
We're on the phone with Deborah Stevenson, the attorney at law who is fighting the state to keep homeschooling as far as the law in the state the way that it is without this ridiculous new bill that's being proposed. Deborah, can you tell us in part, if at all, what some of those things or some of the actors or people that Lamont was going back on? Are you at liberty to discuss that at all, or is it just speculation?
No. We have from other requests. So we have emails going back and forth between people such as the governor's aide, Thea Montanez. That's one. That Sarah Egan, who was the former child advocate.
Yes.
The current child advocate, Christina Gio. Then there was the Fran Rabinowitz from the Association of Public School Superintendents. There were quite a few others involved in that. And they were drafting a bill that contained a lot of ideas, including possible vaccinations for homeschooled kids. They were debating lots of things back and forth, and 12 different versions we received copies of.
So what you know? God,
I'm
sorry. What you know from this is?
We know that was going on well before, between March and May 5th. But on May 5th, they were saying, "Oh, there's no bill," when there was indeed. So. You can't really trust that.
What I'm hearing here in all of this is, and tell me if I'm overshooting on this point. It sounds like other sort of, I don't know, drafts or ideas in the original draft of this bill was almost trying to treat homeschooling as if it were a magnet school, like still a part of the system, with the illusion that the child was being homeschooled, where how do I put this? I guess where the state in some way mandated homeschools in a government-like way.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay.
In my opinion. I mean, it's all about controlling and putting, getting the who's a homeschooler, and we have to track everybody because, when you're enrolled in a public school, you get data tracked all the time. And so they want the kids who are in non-public schools, private schools, and homeschool, everybody to be in that system and data tracked for one thing. And then now they're calling this bill, the provision of equivalent instruction. Well, there's no definition to equivalent instruction anyhow, and people are leaving the public schools in droves because they don't want the instruction that's in the public schools when people graduate without being able to read and write,
Right. Yeah, I mean, the fact it's absolutely insane, but here it is. What you're trying to establish here and what we need to know is, right, behind the scenes is the government trying some way to get those students back by making it difficult for the parent to educate the child independently. They know they've lost the child when they go into homeschooling. And the lack of regulation within the homeschooling space leaves them without power. And it probably leaves them in a state where the parent goes, I mean, the crazy part is, and this is the thing that I don't understand, and maybe I'll figure this out on my own, and maybe you can help me. They do know what's going to happen if parents have government overreach in homeschooling. These parents, if not all of them, a lot of them, will leave the state. Isn't it right, Deborah?
Oh, yes. I mean, that's been talked about often. That people, where else do we go? We're going to leave. That's definitely part of the equation here. But it's also part of the money equation,
right?
Because people leaving the public schools, and this is another consideration. When they leave the public schools, are these homeschooled kids or private school kids even? Are they counted for getting funding to the public school, even though they've left?
Right, and if these parents now become a part of the system, that's just another dollar the state can account for.
Exactly. So there's a lot of different aspects to what's going on here.
Well, I know that you are going to be a success because you're fighting this tooth and nail. Is there a way that we can help? I mean, aside from getting you here on the air as often as possible to let the masses know, what can they do for you? Is there any way that people can assist you? I know you haven't really asked for any help, but I mean, just for the hell of it, I figured I'd ask for you.
Well, it's going to take all of us in the community to try to convince our own representatives and senators, why this is a bad idea. If they want to keep children safe, this is not the way to do it, especially with this bill. Now it's a 22-page bill with all sorts of regulations, et cetera. It's a nightmare. So, and anything the public can do to get in contact with their legislators and explain their opinion, pro or con, either way, but to have that dialogue and see why there needs to be some escape route, especially for children in the inner cities, for the disadvantaged, the black and whatever
group of people.
Yeah,
sure.
People are discriminated against. They need a way to escape from the bullying, from the discrimination, and to take more control of the individual needs of their children. So to escape from that setting, what was today just a bomb threat in Waterbury, in a public school.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to leave the public school system, not just one. And this is one that needs to. You can't escape from that to have that system then come after you and control what instruction you're giving and how you're giving it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. There's no escape route then.
Well, Deborah, thank you for making the time for us today. Like I said, reach out whenever you need to get the word out, or please, if you have an update, we need it. Where everyone here is like literally on the edge of their seat trying to figure out where we're going legally with that, and, of course, supporting you in your fight. So we appreciate you taking the time, but please let us know whenever you have an update for us, okay?
Absolutely, I will. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. That's her, folks. That is Deborah Stevenson. Hold on, got to play your theme music again. God bless you. Thank you so much, Deborah. I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. She's a real lawyer. I gotta play her. I gotta play her theme music. When we come back, this story out of Baltimore, absolutely insane that they are going to mandate. Oh, you know what? The hell? I'm just playing it. It's just worth repeating. This exchange is going between two delegates. One delegate's name is Kathy Zalinga. The other is Ken Kerr. Ken Kerr is for tampons in male bathrooms, even at Ravens Stadium, that's the football team, and the Orioles Stadium, that's the baseball team. Now, if they want them in male bathrooms, does that also mean in the locker rooms for the guys? If it's a state building, a public building, are they going to put they're going to put tampons in the Ravens men's bathroom? According to Ken Kerr, yes. Here's the exchange.
Menstrual hygiene products means appropriately sized tampons. What are appropriately sized tampons? I've never heard of such a thing. What do you consider appropriate?
It just means that tampons are offered. There's no specific size.
Well, apparently there's 4 different sizes, so which one would you like them to use?
Just a regular sized tampon in the bathroom.
Okay, maybe it should say that and not appropriately sized tampon. Now, is this going in all bathrooms, men's and women's?
Yes.
How about the Ravens Stadium?
If it is a state-owned building, then yes, it would go in. It's a public building.
Oriole Park?
Well, if it applies to the Raven Stadium, it would also apply to Orioles Park.
So let me get this right, ladies. Just to tell you what bizarro world we're living in now, okay? That is a grown woman who I can assume has used a tampon or two, who is having a man who I am quite certain has not. And her having to ask him, please explain to me. Tampons. That's the bizarro world we're living in, just so we understand each other. We are so off the reservation on this one, folks. So off. that's the world we're living in now. Everybody in there, whether advocate or not for transgender, knows exactly how stupid that conversation was. And to have a woman ask the guy, what the hell is an appropriate sized tampon? And then have the guy not know, but he's the guy mandating it. We'll be back. Mark Christopher is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hello, sir.
Only women bleed.
Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, this traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester, and traveling on the southbound side of I-91 is a little slow, 32 A and B, and again approaching 27 down to 28. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slows about a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. If you are traveling Route 2 eastbound, that's a good ride, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound slows a little bit as you approach the Mixmaster in Waterbury. 95 southbound losing speed between 46 and 44 in New Haven. Traffic might be at a standstill, but your life shouldn't be. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester fast tracks your smile with 1-day procedures and 7-day availability. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Stop waiting and start smiling. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
The cloud cover that we saw build a little bit later in the afternoon will continue to increase overnight with a low temperature of 29. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, the high temperature 55. Rather cloudy, a couple of showers late tomorrow night, the low temperature down to 40. A mix of sun and clouds, breezy, a couple of showers for the drive home from work on Thursday, the high temperature 66. We will see the rain Thursday night, a shower in the morning on Friday, then partial sunshine. However, the temperatures will drop from a high of 57 into the middle 40s by later in the day. Mostly sunny, downright cold on Saturday with a high of 25, and partly sunny on Sunday, the high temperature up to 49. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
46 degrees at 5:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. A New Mexico jury finds that Meta, the social media giant, is harmful to children's mental health and in violation of state consumer protection law. This was a 7-week landmark trial. State prosecutors say Meta put profits over safety, hiding what it knew about the dangers of child sexual exploitation on its platforms. The jury says there were thousands of violations, each counting towards a penalty of $375 million. Despite Iran's denials, President Trump still insists there are active talks with Iran to end the war. Real estate investors Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are involved, and others, he says.
We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it. And the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal.
Iranian missiles targeted Israel and Iraq today, along with other Persian Gulf nations. The NTSB says a runway warning system did not trigger an alarm before an Air Canada jet and a fire truck collided at LaGuardia Sunday. 2 pilots were killed. It's believed the alarm didn't work as intended because the fire truck did not have a transponder. The cockpit voice recorder shows the truck was told to stop 9 seconds before impact. It's unclear if the 2 people in the truck heard that or other warnings. There were 2 controllers in the tower at the time, according to NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
It is not clear who was conducting the duties of the ground controller. We have conflicting information. We have some information saying it was the controller in charge. We have some information saying it was the local controller.
She says it should not be assumed that controller distraction was involved. Initial readings show one controller cleared the truck to cross the runway just 20 seconds before the crash. U.S. economic growth is slowing.
The U.S. Purchasing Managers Index Composite, which tracks the services and manufacturing sectors of the economy, dipped to a weaker reading in March from the previous month, although still clinging to expansion territory. The manufacturing index rose more than expected, signaling an 8th consecutive month of improving factory business conditions. But that was offset by a weaker services sector reading, and services make up around 85% of the overall U.S. economy. U.S. business activity slumped to its lowest level in 11 months, impacted by surging oil prices from the conflict with Iran.
CBS's Jason Brooks. Crude oil prices cooled off since a 5% rise early today. They're now up about 1% for the day. Dow was down 84 points. S&P dropped 25. The NASDAQ down 184. In sports, the Knicks host New Orleans. The Bruins hosting Toronto. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and for your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impact it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again. So call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or visit northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-700-6898. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
All right. So we have to do our thing. So, we do our thing. News. News. In today's news for music, do you remember Nena? Yeah. Nena turned 66 this year. You don't know Nena? Well, Nena sang the very famous one-hit wonder, 99 Luftballons. That's right. She turned 66. Remember how young she was back then? Yeah, 66, still around. No one ever even talks about her. Lee Oscar. He was the harmonica player for the group War. Remember them? Well, their harmonica was all through much of their most popular songs. Like, of course, the Cisco Kid, Why Can't We Be Friends, and, of course, Lowrider. He turned 78 today, and he's Danish-born, by the way. Dougie Thompson of Supertramp, the bassist. He was born in 1951, which makes him 75 this year. He anchored the progressive pop sound with mega hits like Breakfast in America, The Logical Song, and, of course, Take the Long Way Home, which is still one of my favorite songs. I sing it from time to time or hum it now and again. Album chart anniversaries are 40 years ago, Van Halen's 5150. That was in 1986. I always thought that album was later than that. It was their first #1 album on the Billboard Top 200. That was the first Sammy Hagar album on vocals with the songs Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, and Love Walks In. It went multi-platinum and relaunched the band's arena dominance. 44 years ago, Iron Maiden, The Number of the Beast. That was released in 1982. It was the landmark heavy metal breakthrough with Bruce Dickinson on vocals. The title track, Run to the Hills, helped launch the invasion of NWOBHM. 47 years ago, the Bee Gees, Tragedy, hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100s. That was in 1979. Their 8th U.S. chart topper. Also number 1 in UK from the Spirits Having Flown era. Pure disco pop perfection, as it was called. 49 years ago, Fleetwood Mac's Dreams released as a single in 1977. That was from the Rumors album. Also, and I want to get this out as fast as I possibly can, 64 years ago, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards played their first paid gig together as Little Boy Blue and the Blue Boys, a London jazz club. Elvis Presley was sworn in as a U.S. Army private in 1958, and 81 years ago, Billboard magazine published its first ever album chart in 1945. Who was the number 1 album in 1945? Well, it was none other than Nat King Cole's collection of favorites. Mark Christopher. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. No balloons. 66. Nana.
Unbelievable.
I got to see what she looks like now. She probably looks great.
You know where I'm going on April 4th?
Where you going?
Premier Theater at Foxwoods.
And you're going to go see War.
War with Tower of Power.
No doubt. Well, you love Tower of Power.
I'm a huge TOP fan.
That's your band, man.
But you throw these guys in, too. This is a great show.
Absolutely. I never realized until I read today's music news how much harmonica is in that band.
I know.
There's a lot of it.
This is one of my all-time favorite tunes.
You can't go wrong with this record.
She wrote this song in like 10 minutes, which is amazing.
Yeah, isn't that wild? And I'm not even a Fleetwood Mac fan.
One of the best shows I've ever seen. Fleetwood
cannot
Mac.
deny this song is classic.
Oh, my God.
I can listen to it over and over again.
This song never will get old with me. What a great song.
Yeah.
I love this segment. I love just
I know.
throwing on
I did
old
it for you,
tunes.
sir. I did it for you.
I know you did. That was very nice of you. I hope the listeners sort of like it, too.
They do.
Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B. Slowing again down by exit 28 on the Hartford Weathersfield line. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 46 Sisson Avenue. Eastbound 84 is a little tight, 46 into the tunnel. Look out for an accident, right shoulder between 58 and 59, East Hartford Manchester line. Heading into Middletown, 9 North is a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. And in New Haven, South 95 is running a little slow, 46 down to 44. Southbound Parkway slowing 50 into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
We've got ample sunshine out there right now. The clouds will start to increase this evening and overnight. Chilly, the low temperature down to 29. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, up to 55 degrees. And tomorrow night, a couple of showers start to move in, the low temperature 40. We will have a mix of sun and clouds on Thursday. That'll be the warmest day of the week with a high of 66. A couple of showers late in the afternoon that carry into the first part of Friday. And then the temperatures will drop from a high of 57 early in the day into the middle 40s by later on Friday afternoon. Mostly sunny on Saturday, the high 42, and Canadian high pressure keeps us dry with a partly sunny sky on Sunday, up to 49 degrees. Right now, it's 45 in Glastonbury, 46 in Middletown, and 48 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Chad Merrill in the WTIC Weather Center.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by BPS Lawyers. Enjoy the game with peace of mind. BPS Lawyers, protecting your rights for over 49 years.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and at NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Tune in to News Talk 1080 this Thursday at 4:10 p.m. for baseball's opening day as the Red Sox play the Cincinnati Reds. Sponsored by Thomaston Savings Bank. Here for you, here for the community, here to stay. Member FDIC. Visit ThomastonSB.com.
Let's take a step back in time to an era when things were built right, built to last, and a handshake meant something. Yankee Home delivers that same craftsmanship still today. If you have old, cracked, or broken windows, you can feel the cold draft sneaking in, and your home just never feels comfortable no matter how much you adjust the thermostat. If this sounds familiar, it's time to call Yankee Home. Yankee Home's energy-efficient, high-quality windows are designed to keep the warm air in and the cold air out. Plus, every job is done right the first time. Never cattywampus. Right now, buy 4 windows and get free installation or financing options like 0 down and 0% interest. Call Yankee Home now at 1-800-885-HOME. That's 1-800-885-HOME. Or visit yankeehome.com.
Yankee Home makes it easy as can be with our never cattywampus lifetime guarantee. Yankee Home.
On approved credit, restrictions apply.
Larry Older here. You know, one of the most rewarding parts of sharing Relief Factor with you is hearing real stories like that of Sandra. She tells us, I've been hearing about Relief Factor on the radio for a couple of years, and I finally decided to try it because nothing else was helping my back pain. I know the feeling. With a 3-week quick start, she said, I went for it. Now I feel like a new person. That's Sandra's own words, and it's so gratifying to hear. I've told you about my brother Kirk having difficulty going up and down the stairs in the morning. He wouldn't listen to me. I told him to take Relief Factor. He finally did. Began moving better, feeling stronger. Too bad he didn't listen earlier. Try it for yourself. The 3-week quick start. And see how Relief Factor could be your game changer too. It is only $19.95. Think about it. Do the math. Less than $1 a day. So call 800-4RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4RELIEF, or go to relieffactor.com. All one word, relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4RELIEF, relieffactor.com.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're about to get up out of here. And I want to give a shout out to this kid. His name is TJ. Let me get his full name here. TJ, I want to say Duarte is his name. Young kid here in Connecticut. And he sent me a note. He's a podcaster, young kid. And if I can, I want to read this for you before I do the Baltimore thing in a second. But he writes, he goes, hello, Mr. Hopkins. I am Tajari. I guess that's how his name is. He says TJ is on his Facebook page, but this is his name, Tajari. I wanted to know if I can get an interview to speak about Ned Lamont's plan to cut $12 million from education, also to empower youth across our country. Hope to hear back. I'm like, wow. I'm like, what organization are you with? Your profile reads nothing. And he says, well, I'm new to podcasting. And he has a show, which is on YouTube. And he also posts on something called Waterbury Talks. I'm not familiar with it. Maybe I am, and I'm just not remembering. And I said, you wish to join the show to talk about the cut to education? Forgive me, I'm currently on the air. And he goes, yes, and that young people should be scared to speak, but because if these cuts happen, magnet schools could go away because of this lack of funding. And I'm like, okay, forward your information. It's a young kid. You guys might remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe even a couple of months ago, I was talking about how we need to start reaching out to some of these young folks who are doing things in broadcasting. They don't even understand if what they are doing is spawned from this medium. And it's just an extension of it. And for someone this young to reach out, you got to sort of pull them into the fold. I would have never known who this young man was, but the fact that he reached out, I'm actually going to call him and have him on the show, and I'm going to see if I can get him in this week. And I don't know, it looks like he might be in school, but you know what, the show's until 6 o'clock, so maybe he can get here immediately after. But I will keep you posted. I'll talk to him immediately after the show, like I said, and see if we can get him here. And maybe we could introduce him to radio and, quite possibly, his friends. Always an opportunity to promote. Now, back to Baltimore. And then to the calls. Listen, folks, ladies, especially ladies on the left. When men are writing legislation about putting tampons in men's bathrooms, you have to say to yourself, when did we allow this? Because a lot of times women have been at the forefront of telling us men, you don't understand what it's like to be a woman. Stay out of it. And now we're here. So if you missed it, let me play it again. The two who are speaking, and I'm sure that you are not an idiot. One is female, one is male. The female is Delegate Kathy Zaliga. I apologize. I'm pronouncing that poorly. Zaliga. The man is Ken Kerr. Delegate Kathy Zaliga is from Baltimore County, Maryland. Ken Kerr is from Frederick County, Maryland. And the woman is shocked, Kathy is, to find out that the legislation reads, well, let her tell it.
Menstrual hygiene products means appropriately sized tampons. What are appropriately sized tampons?
Now, again, a woman who knows has never heard the phrasing, which to her, and I know what women are saying when they hear this. I don't care what aisle you're in. You are a woman, and I know you heard this and you went, what bozo male wrote this? Who let the guys write legislation on tampons? You couldn't find one woman, your wife even, your daughter, a friend of yours, somebody at the mall couldn't tell you that the term appropriately sized tampon was a numbskull move?
I've never heard of such a thing. What do you consider appropriate?
Again, and I know that in his head, at least I'm hoping in his head, he is saying to himself, I look like a moron. But no, which shows you the arrogance of this fool. He looks at her like she's got the issue.
It just means that tampons are offered. There's no specific size.
He should be embarrassed. His face should show the embarrassment. He should be asking, literally, if Regis Fieldman could allow him to phone a friend, preferably a female one. But no, he's really trying to bail himself out with people giggling at him in a place that's supposed to be serious.
Well, apparently there's 4 different sizes, so which one would you like them to use?
Which one of the 4 is appropriate? Now, I'm going to be honest with you folks. If I had heard appropriately sized tampon, I would have been taken aback for a little bit. Why? Because I have purchased tampons for my wife. Organic ones, I might add. That's right, because she's all about the earth, baby. But I digress. Clearly, Kathy Zaliga here is mocking the poor man. She's toying with him. But he doesn't get it.
Just a regular sized tampon in the bathroom.
Okay, maybe it should say that and not appropriately sized tampon. Now, is this going in all bathrooms, men's and women's?
Yes.
How about the Ravens Stadium?
This one, like your man card should literally, and I mean you should be rodeoed down at the Home Depot and hogtied while they remove your man card on the floor, preferably near the power tool section. Do you understand me? When the woman asked you if the football stadium should have tampons in them, the natural reaction would be, I don't know if that's the appropriate place. Football? It's already being argued that it should be considered flag. It's not rough. It's not angry enough. It's lightened up. for this guy to be at the point where he would just go, well, of course it should.
If it is a state-owned building, then yes, it would go in. It's a public building.
Oriole Park?
Well, if it applies to the Raven Stadium, it would also apply to Orioles Park.
Does anyone not have any shame? How do they not have any shame? This is just absolutely, it's insane. Hey, what's going on in there? When the sales department shows up in the studio, I'm always nervous. I see. Hi, folks. How are you? How are you? Is everything okay? Everybody peachy? Okay, good. I thought something had happened. I was just like, whenever I see the brass, I want to make sure that, hey, everybody's doing okay. All right, I love those guys. I just tease them. Forgive me. But yeah, when you are given a window like that, when somebody says to you, should there be tampons in the male bathrooms at a football stadium? Like, are you trying to insult the men? Are you trying to? Because I would say yes. I would say that was purposeful when you do something that dumb. And to have the woman embarrass you like that, and you know it's going to go viral when you go everywhere, how do you not? You know how this guy's going to be out in public, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to lay out the scene because I know he's going to be on social media crying about it. Here it is. Let me lay it out for you. Ken Kerr from Frederick County. He is going to go on social media, and it's going to go exactly like this. I'm appalled. I'm just so appalled that the immature people of Maryland would dare throw tampons at me as we walk through Target. That's what's going to happen. Do you understand me? That is what's going to happen. Okay? People are going to toss tampons at him. That's what they're going to do. And he brought it on himself. And guess what? You know what's going to be the worst part of that injury? It will not be men. It will be women. It will. And you know what I'm going to say? Applaud them. Ladies. And there's going to be people saying stuff like, hey, put that in your bathroom. That's exactly what's going to happen. Stevie V says, where's George Carlin when you need him? I don't know. I don't know. Carmela says, there are multiple size tampons, but I don't know what size is appropriate for the men's room. No size, maybe? You are so right. 100%, Carmela. No size. No size at all. And that's where we are. Larry says, gives new meaning to spiking the football. I want the news media in the bathroom celebrating it. Here's our new tampon dispensers right here at Raven Stadium. And then they're interviewing the guys as they go into the stalls. Hey, they've added a new feature to the men's room. Oh, really? Doors on the stalls, hand warmers. Let me guess, the fancy towels. No, we've got tampons. Oh. Oh, I'm crossing my fingers. There's so many little things that I've ever crossed my fingers for. I don't ask for a lot. I do. I do try. I try to stay humble. Try not to ask for a bunch of things. But this one, I want to see this. I'm crossing my fingers. Should I pray? No, that's too much. That's too much. Just hoping on hoping. Maybe I can get it. Just a little bit. Just like, because I want to cover the story. That's all I want. I would love it. Please don't try it here. I hope no one gets any ideas. They don't. Tomorrow on the program, I will start telling you about the debate. April 30th, Stadium 15, 7:30, I believe it is, 7:30 till 9. is when it'll be. We'll also start telling you how you could be a part of it. Business leaders, if you own a business and you want to be a part of the debate, find out through me. Send me a message at reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. reeseontheradio.com. Send me your info now. Spread the word. Tell your friends. We'll start posting about it. You share it. Again, April 30th at Stadium 15 in Farmington. And we will see you there. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night and pleasant tomorrow. Stevie V says, even God is saying, I didn't see that coming. He saw it. Mark Christopher, he is getting you home. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Indeed.
Well, this is happening in Maryland?
Maryland, that's the argument.
Right.
I don't think it's going to pass. I just think that it's great for the banter.
I'll spend one of those named spots, the rest stops in New Jersey. Maybe I'll stop. Instead of going into a bathroom in Maryland, I'll go to like the Bon Jovi rest area in New Jersey.
That's right.
Just skip right over Maryland. Have a great night, Reese. If you're heading into Hartford right now, I just can't figure out why. Why would this guy want that? Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 44 Prospect Oakwood. It looks good eastbound 84.